Hey, what's going on, sports fans? My name is TJ Jones, and welcome to another edition of the State of the NFL podcast, where we talk about some of the hottest topics in all of the National Football League. And thank you for joining us. It is the watch along between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. You got we got the reigning MVP and Josh Allen, and you have Lamar Jackson, who is a two-time MVP, and they square off in Buffalo on Sunday night. I mean, these two teams, it's pretty obvious that these two teams are the ones that a lot of people feel are going to be trying to be one step closer to the Super Bowl in the AFC Championship game. So right now it's 7-0. You have the Buffalo Bills on the board first. It was a pass by Josh Allen to his tight end, Dalton Kincaid. They hook up, and now it's time for the Baltimore Ravens offense to hit the field, which, is a very dynamic offense led by one of the most athletic quarterbacks that we've ever seen in Lamar Jackson, his ability to be able to run and throw the football, man. So it's going to be an exciting game, man. Both of these teams are like really good. And, if you have a team that, you root for, probably not on this level, maybe you can sit back and appreciate what they can bring to the table. As we look at 1st and 10, got Derrick Henry running in between the tackles, gets about 6 or 7 yards on the play. So Derrick Henry in his second year with the Baltimore Ravens ran for 2,000 yards last season. Just absolutely insane type of numbers he put up last year, him and Saquon Barkley. And he tries to run in between the tackles again, but this time Buffalo corrals him before he does any significant damage, gets about 2 or 3 yards on the play. I want to give a special shout out to everybody watching this right now with us that's checking this out in the comments. Special shout out to Camden and also hello. So excited about the opportunity, man, to be able to do this. This is my first time doing this Sunday night football game. We have done 2 watch along so far, but excited to do this one. So it's 3rd and 3 for the Baltimore Ravens with about 10 minutes left in the first. He checks it down. This is the Justice Hill. He fights, and I think he gets over there, and he has enough for a first down. So that was a really good effort right there. Really, he tried to like reach forward. He collided with the safety Benford, but at the end of the day, Justice Hill is able to get that first down. So it keeps the drive alive. Man. I think he got the first down. Yeah, I think you see he got the first down. He reached over. All right, so we got 1st and 10 for Baltimore. Got Lamar Jackson in a gun. Next to him, you got Derrick Henry. We got Rashad Bateman in motion, and here we go. Here's a pass, and he throws it, and this pass is complete to Mark Andrews, who, has been dealing with some injuries over the last couple of years. But, this is a great opportunity for him to get a heavy dose of the catches from the tight end position now that Isaiah Likely is out of this game. He's not playing in this game tonight. Isaiah Likely, a really good pass-catching receiver, but Mark Andrews is, when healthy, one of the best tight ends in football. All right, so we got a little audible. Now we got Lamar Jackson under center on a 2nd and 5, and this is a handoff. He gives it off to Derrick Henry. He barrels forward for about 2 or 3 yards on the play. So this is going to bring up 3rd down yet again. Want to see if Baltimore can convert on this 3rd down. They already got 1 3rd down on this drive. Let's see if they can get another one. I'm not even mad about the game, TJ. I feel like we can go 2-1. Well, that's good, man. That's a very positive and optimistic thing of you to say, man. We'll see, man, as the weeks go by. All right. Here we got an RPO action with Lamar Jackson, gets behind the center and guard, and he is able to get the first down and much more. So that's the dynamic of Lamar Jackson, that RPO action. You always gotta take account and see where Lamar Jackson is on the field. And that was one of those times where the eyes were moving around a little bit too much, and you have Lamar Jackson. That was an easy first down. All right, so here we go. 1st and 10. Again for the Baltimore Ravens. Got a single back. Got Derrick Henry in the backfield, Lamar Jackson under center, play action. He looking, checks it down to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry gets across the first down mark. So he gets about 12 or 13 yards on a play. So you don't really look for Derrick Henry to be a pass catching running back. You know, most of the time he's just that bell cow guy. That's why you have Justice Hill. But he was able to sneak out, and he was by himself. And, I mean, easy check down, easy first down. Kind of caught Buffalo slipping there. I don't know if they just thought Derrick Henry wasn't going to catch it or something. I don't know. But nobody accounted for number 22. So right now, Lamar Jackson looking really good on his drive. 3 of 3, 21 yards. All right, so here we go. Here's the handoff. This handoff is to Justice Hill, and he goes forward. And he gets about, wait a minute, and we got Buffalo. They're pointing as if he fumbled the football. Yeah, they're actually pointing towards saying that it's their possession, but we'll see. Is anybody going to call it a challenge? But I guess not. As we take a look at Joey Bosa in his first season with the Buffalo Bills, for spending about 5 or 6 years with the Chargers. All right, so 2nd and 8. You got Lamar Jackson. He puts Zay Flowers in motion, and you try to get Lamar Jackson, but he's not going to get out of this. And they get him down for a sack, but there is some laundry on the field. Got some laundry on the field. Going to see who this is against. All right, so this might be holding on the Bills here. Let's see what we got. Yep, holding on the defense. So that is automatic first down. So it takes away the sack and the pressure that you put on Lamar Jackson. You was able to get him on the ground. But you got Strong, who's a rookie, goes out there, holds on to Zay Flowers, and you know that you can't do that. I don't know. I mean, kind of ticky-tack, if you ask me. I don't think it was too much holding. I don't think it was affected, but here we go. We got 6. Let's see. He has the audible. The audible's out. Are they going to call a timeout? And he gets it off with 1 second left. Everybody's coming after him. He's rushing. Lamar might want to just throw this thing out of bounds, and he throws it and tried to throw it out of bounds. Zay Flowers has other things in mind. He was trying to catch that. Looked like there was a tad bit confusion by Lamar. He was looking down at his quarterback play sheet, and it looked like he was a little bit confused on the audible. So, I mean, good pressure right up the middle. They were able to get Lamar out the pocket, and he tried to throw it down the field. You know, if somebody catches it down the field, fine, but I'm trying to throw this thing out of bounds. But really good play by Buffalo's defense. All right, 2nd and 10. Got Zay Flowers in motion again. This is on a jet sweep to Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers makes somebody miss, and he gets down to about the 12-yard line, which is probably about 2 yards shy of the first down. So it's 3rd down for the Baltimore Ravens. Really good move right there. Really good play call. Get Zay Flowers going early. And it looks like NBC having a little bit of technical difficulty. I don't know if it says this on your screen or not. All right, I had to move on to the next. Had to move on to the other channel here. Looked like we was having some technical difficulties on the Peacock network. All right, but anyway, you got some movement, and everybody's pointing towards the other sideline, but it's a false start on the offense. So that's going to push the Baltimore Ravens back a little bit further there. Rosengarten is second-year guy. Really good offensive lineman, man. Was really highly touted coming out of the draft last year, and has done a really good job at the tackle position. Really good job. I wish was that optimistic. I don't think if we play lights out and minimize the penalties, we can beat San Fran. Well, the Saints take on the San Francisco 49ers on next week. 3rd and 8 for the Baltimore Ravens. You got Lamar. He's moving. He's going back, and this is a sack. And, I mean, that was like a loss of 25, 30 yards, okay? So all these people that making fun and talking about Shadur Sanders, even the greats like Lamar Jackson, go backwards about 20 yards also. So just want to make that very, very clear. We see the creme de la creme. It's like he lost about 20 yards on that play. But that's how you neutralize Lamar. You keep him in a pocket. You keep him in a pocket and you make sure that he doesn't run out. In the last couple defensive plays, let's see what we got here. 52 yards. Snap, placement, kick on the way. And that is good. So the rookie, who is replacing one of the best place kickers in NFL history, kicks a 52-yard field goal in his NFL debut. Camden Ruffo says it's 8:31 now. And then he says, bro. And then he says, I'm leaving. Well, I'm sorry, man. But I would say I appreciate everybody that stops by the channel. I really do, man. But that's not the type of energy that I roll with, bro. Like sometimes, be trying to make graphics and doing other things, and sometimes you run a little bit behind. So, sorry. Man, that really bothers me. That just bothers you, like, from people like, man, I'm leaving. Like, so? You ain't got to make no announcement? Shoot. Just leave. Like, oh, no. Where is he? I got to find him. TJ, you're doing an amazing job calling this game. I appreciate it, Josh. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for checking out the last couple lives that we have, man, and also supporting this project, man. New podcast. Hope y'all enjoying it too, man. This week one, I ain't tripping off nothing. TJ, you seen the Lions? Yeah, that was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. But I expect for the Lions to take a step back, especially like with the new offensive coordinator. You don't have Ben Johnson anymore, so said, dang it, TJ, I'm leaving. Well, I would hate to see you go. I hate to see you go. But yeah, that just bothers me, man. Like, people be in a chat and stuff like that, be like, I ain't never watching this no more. Okay, like, oh no, wait, where are the wires? Come on, man, let's close up shop because XM by me 24 don't want to watch me no more. Like, who cares? Sorry, man. Sometimes we on time and sometimes we not. It is what it is. Till the 49ers shocked me with the late win. Look, man, they had a lot of NFL games that happened today, a lot of big-time storylines. I think the biggest storyline while we're waiting for the game to come back on has got to be Daniel Jones' performance with the Indianapolis Colts against the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Miami Dolphins, to me, have completely checked out on Mike McDaniel. I feel like he's probably going to get fired sooner rather than later. The inmates are running the asylum. You got Tyreek Hill over there, basically, pouting on the bench. All this noise right here, I don't see him surviving the entire season. I just don't. And no, I'm not referring to these guys as inmates as a figure of speech, meaning that he allows his players to basically do whatever the heck they want. Don't allow them to take any accountability. They show up anytime they want to when they need to report to the facility. He doesn't really put, clamps on certain things that they do. And, the discipline is, going out of the window. I don't feel like this guy's going to survive the season. But Daniel Jones with an incredible performance, 22 of 29, 272 yards, 1 touchdown. And I'm happy for the guy. Sometimes, maybe guys need to go to like smaller teams, that don't have that major market appeal. Like Indianapolis, a really good town, man. I've been there a couple times for the NFL Combine. Great place to visit, man. But they care about their football team. They are a blue-collar town. People, work hard, spend their money, go to the games. And this is probably the type of environment that he needs to be in, like a slower pace environment versus New York, where they're just ready to try to pounce on you and try to destroy you, the first chance that they get. Any sign of trouble, any type of blood that they smell, they writing the hit pieces already. So maybe some guys aren't just fit to be in those type of environments. But we are looking at 2nd and 1 for the Buffalo Bills here. The Buffalo Bills, 2 minutes and 50 seconds left, clock still running in the first quarter. Here's the handoff. This is the James Cooks. He tries to get around, but gets absolutely nothing on the play. Doesn't get anything. All right, so probably get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost the yard there. All right, so here we go. This is 3rd down. You got the Baltimore Ravens, got 3 points on the board. Here's another handoff to James Cook, and he goes absolutely nowhere again. So for the second time, they got 2 stops on a 2nd and 1, a 3rd and 1, and now that's going to force the Buffalo Bills to possibly punt the football. So you got Kyle Van Noy, the ageless wonder, the guy who has been in the NFL for quite some time. His time with the Patriots, his time with the Detroit Lions. I mean, he has been around. All right, so they forced the punt after James Cook loses 2 yards. Here's the punt. Really good hang time here. Wait a minute. So it looks like it may have hit the gunner. And if it hit the gunner, then that means that would be Buffalo ball. And it hit, okay. All right, so it hits the knee of the gunner of Buffalo before it actually hits Martin. And so it's going to be Buffalo's ball. So there you go. You gotta add miss me with the nonsense to some of your calls, TJ. Miss me with the nonsense. Peacock back up, and it's a little ahead though. Yeah, I mean, I know sometimes like I'll be behind I'll be behind when it comes to the commentary because maybe the plays are a couple behinds late. But I don't know, man. Sometimes some people's televisions are faster than others. Because some people will be like, I'm a little bit behind. I'm probably a play behind. I think the last watch along we was pretty much on the same stream, but sometimes it gets a little behind though. I won't spoil it, TJ, though. Have good chat manners, LOL. Nah, it's okay, man, because when the game is going on, I'm honestly just looking at the screen. But I appreciate it, though. I'm just kind of looking at the screen, just telling people. And because, man, shouts out to all the people that have reached out. I'm getting emails and people are telling me, oh, man, I'm be driving a truck or I'm riding in a car and I'll be trying to listen and trying to see what's going on with the games. And they're like, man, we appreciate you, doing the commentary. So man, thank y'all. Thank y'all for choosing me to listen to while you're going on these long, luxurious trips or doing your job, man, driving these trucks. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones had to be someone that you have to be pretty impressed with his performance. Because all the things he went through in New York and people just writing him off and saying he's terrible. But, I mean, it's good that he had some success, man. I mean, he completed 22 of 29 passes. But also, man, another really good game was the Raiders versus the Patriots, man. The Raiders going 1-0. Geno Smith, 24 of 34, 362 yards, 1 touchdown. And you also had Ashton Genty, 19 carries for 38 yards. He even had his first touchdown of his career in this game. Brock Bowers, 5 catches for 103 yards. Jacoby Myers, who they said wanted to be traded, 8 catches for 97 yards. I guess that'll keep him quiet for right now because you're not going to get opportunities like that anywhere else. 1st and 10. Derrick Henry breaks through the middle, and gets about 11 yards. So drag somebody with him, and he gets about 12 yards on a carry. I mean, and this guy's like the ultimate cheat code here, man. Big 6'3", 250-pound running back, full speed. I mean, just like a ton of bricks just running downhill, just rolling downhill, breaking off guys. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to see a guy like Derrick Henry again in the NFL. Like him and Brandon Jacobs had to be two of the most physically imposing running backs I've ever seen. Play action by Lamar Jackson. He steps up, he throws it downfield, and that is caught by Zay Flowers, bobbles it a little bit, but was able to maintain possession, and that is a first down. So yeah, Lamar Jackson. Oh man, trying to make a stiff arm right there. Gets his hand caught up into the helmet of the defender. That hurts, by the way, folks. If that ever happened to you, hitting somebody's helmet with your fingers, that's painful. All right, 1st and 10. All right, handoff again. This is to Henry. He barrels forward, but they're up to the challenge, but he still gets about 2 yards on the play. And that's probably going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So, first quarter, the Buffalo Bills lead the Baltimore Ravens by a score of 7-3. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the NFL podcast. Once again, my name is TJ Jones. I am a radio broadcaster of WLGI out here in South Carolina. Lifelong, born and raised in New Orleans, grew up a Saints fan. Now I cover the NFL. Been to different places like the NFL Combine, Senior Bowl every single year, and started off just doing the Saints podcast. And this is our very first year of doing the State of the NFL podcast. So if you're into NFL talk, if you're into live watch-alongs and primetime games, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Help the channel to grow. I would really appreciate that. We got quite a few people watching this right now. So I just ask that you hit that like button, no matter what platform that you're watching this. And if you're on the State of the NFL, I ask that you hit that like button and subscribe to that channel. Y'all think Lamar going to get MVP this year? I think Joe Burrow might end up getting it, especially if Cincinnati make it to the postseason. I think he will. Now, his stats weren't like, MVP type stats today. But I think, they'll probably win a lot of football games this season. He was 14 of 23, 113 yards and 1 touchdown. But I mean, there was a divisional matchup, and the defense of the Cleveland Browns is really, really good. I mean, you had Myles Garrett had 2 sacks in the game. They sacked Joe Burrow 3 times. So, they weren't able to be as effective offensively, but I expect for it to improve. Let's see. Raiders will be much better, not a playoff team yet, but a challenge for anybody. I don't know, Josh. I mean, I respect Pete Carroll to a point where I feel like the Raiders can make the playoffs. I'm serious. It might be an uphill battle because you're playing in the AFC West. There's a lot of talent over there. To me, that's probably the best division in football. But yeah, I think they have a chance if they continue to run the football, set up that play action, and if Geno Smith can put up these type of numbers that he put up today, my goodness, sky's the limit for those guys. Not the way Joe played today, he ain't. Well, all players start off slow. I mean, even Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels didn't have a great he didn't have a great game last year for week 1. I think he may have had like 180 yards or something like that. But he was in the MVP conversation, right? I mean, sometimes, you just start off a little slow. And Joe Burrow always starts off slow. I think what was it? I don't know if it was last year or the year before that. He had like 4 interceptions in 1 game. So, I mean, what they do today, to me, isn't indicative on what the season is going to be like for those players. I just think you have to have a wait and see approach. Got to wait and see. Dalton saying Bills Mafia. All right, 3rd and 3 for the Baltimore Ravens. You got Lamar Jackson in a gun. Look like Mark Andrews and it's kind of communicate with him. All right, so here's the snap, and here's a little RPO, and yet again, Lamar Jackson down the field. And it's becoming a little bit too easy with the RPO game. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that they're not using it as much as Buffalo may anticipate, because he only has done this twice in a game. So I think Joey Bosa over pursued it a little bit, and Lamar was just able to get right around him. So here we go. A new set of downs for the Baltimore Ravens. Here's the handoff to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry just slices through stiff arms. 10-5, touchdown, Derrick Henry. What a run by the big man. And like I said, the ultimate cheat code, ladies and gentlemen, the ultimate cheat code. I mean, this is so freaking easy right here. So you look at the offensive line. All right, you got the fullback, gets that first block, and Derrick Henry makes someone miss, stiff arms the cornerback. And I mean, good luck trying to chase down a 240-pound man with a full head of speed and just throws Bishop to the ground like he's just an infant child. So, all right, so here we go. Here's the extra point. Snap placement, kick on the way, and is right down the middle and good. So, Derrick Henry with an angry run. Stiff arms Bishop and just runs it into the end zone and makes it look easy, ladies and gentlemen. Baltimore up 10-7. TJ, a better commentator than a Sunday Night Football and Thursday. Nah, I appreciate that, man. Look, we're going to have some fun over here, man. Look, if we're going to watch football, we're going to watch football and have a good time doing it. Emeka Egbuka, rookie. He looking like it. He looking like it. He looking very, very dangerous, man. He tore apart. He tore apart the Atlanta Falcons secondary. Oh man, that guy's incredible, man. But yeah, it says Josh says you ain't going for 4-13 to the playoffs in 1 year, but next year I expect playoffs. But they're at that very beginning of a big reset. Got to take time. Going to take time. Well, Josh, let me tell you this, man. I don't think that Antonio Pierce was the best coach for the job. You know, to me, I just think Pete Carroll was just such a good coach, man. He's a player's coach, but there's also a level. There's also discipline there. It's almost like, okay, I trust you to do the right thing. I need you to trust me to make sure that, you know, so I put our team in the best place, but I need help from you. And it's kind of a really good, healthy exchange. That's what I like about him, you know. And I also think that their personality is probably going to change. You're probably going to see some classic Raider, football, like back in the 80s where people were talking about how tough the Raiders were. I think they're going to be a physically tough football team all the while they're trying to figure this whole thing out. TJ, why don't in the Bleacher Report you go live on YouTube no more when you be on there? I'll be looking for your lives. It's because I can't go live on Bleacher Report and go live on YouTube at the same time. But people don't know this, and I'm glad you mentioned this. I go live immediately following the game on Bleacher Report. On Bleacher Report, I immediately go live. And then after I'm finished with Bleacher, I go on State of the Saints podcast. So that's why I tell people, make sure that you follow me on Bleacher Report too, because immediately following the game, if you don't see a post game on the State of the Saints, is more than likely because I'm on Bleacher Report. But after the game, after the post game, I'm always on the State of the Saints channel. So make sure you check that out. All right, but anyway, really good block by the fullback there. And then you had the left tackle come over and help out. And all about a third level, I mean, Derrick Henry was already stiff arming his way into the end zone. So it can't be that easy. You can't make it that easy for big Derrick Henry. All right, so 1st and 10, we got Josh Allen in a gun. He throws it up, and this was to Keon Coleman, and it's dropped. Wide open, could have had some opportunity to run. I'm not going to say he was going to score a touchdown there, but you probably would have got about 4 or 5 yards. And Keon Coleman, this is his year, man. You know, you got 1 year removed for Stephon Diggs. Gabe Davis is on the team, but he's not, you know, he's on the practice squad. So this is Keon Coleman, him and Khalil Shakir and Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. That's pretty much it. Now they got James Palmer on the team right now. You know, Jordan Palmer. They got Jordan Palmer, you know, he played for the Chargers. So come to, you know, add in. And all right, so here we go. There we go. We go right back. This time, speaking of Palmer, that is to Palmer and the new Buffalo Bill coming over from the Chargers along with his teammate, Joey Bosa. I messed that man name up again. Excuse me. Joshua Palmer. Joshua Palmer coming over from the Chargers. Okay, so here we go. 3rd and 6. We got Josh Allen in the gun. All right. He's calling out his protections here, and he throws it right there. That is to Kincaid, but he is fumbled, and it goes out of bounds. All right, so it's 4th down. Okay, it wasn't a fumble, but it was a 4th down. So I don't know, man. Quick pass over to Kincaid, but Kyle Hamilton, the recently highest paid safety, Kyle Hamilton, forcing a fumble, really good hit right on the ball, and it just rolls out of bounds, luckily for Dalton Kincaid. All right, so here's the punt. Punt, really good hang time here. And he's going to return this, and he gets across the 30, goes around, and Wester just gets tripped up right there, tries to make a move, but really good special teams play. Was able to tackle him before he can do any significant damage. So now we see Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens offense hitting the field again, try to see if they can actually build on the momentum of that big Derrick Henry touchdown run. So funny thing is my voice sounds like Mahomes, but I love the Bills. Yeah, you definitely sound like Patrick Mahomes. If you Kellen Moore, what you think he learned from his first real game as a head coach? That's a good question. What can New Orleans Saints head coach Kellen Moore learn from? You know, first off, I feel like he needs to trust his quarterback. I don't think he really fully trusts Spencer Rattler the way that you would like for a coach to trust his quarterback. And then also, I just think he was a little bit too conservative. Look, man, nobody's really judging Kellen Moore on his performance this first season. So I just say go out there and let it rip and let the chips fall where they may. 1st and 10, and that pass is complete. This is to Rashad Bateman, so he gets about 7 yards on the play. Benford fights and a little bit of some tussling after the play, but cooler heads prevailed. Don't want to see anybody get kicked out. Just being a little bit of a hothead. Got to play. I mean, it wasn't even a first down there. All right, so 2nd down for the Baltimore Ravens. Really good catch by Rashad Bateman. He got about 5 yards on the play, but good possession guy. He also can kind of hurt you down the field. They extended him this offseason as well. All right, so 2nd and 5. You got Lamar, and he hands the ball off to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry finds the hole, gets through, fights. He goes 40, 30, 20, and he's tackled down at about the 12 or the 11-yard line. Derrick Henry has taken over this game, and you can see it in the Buffalo Bills fans' faces that right now they have absolutely no answer for number 22. I mean, once you hand him off the ball, good blocking. I mean, he's able to find a hole. He finds the crease. And, I mean, these are big linebackers. They're just bouncing off this guy. I mean, tried to get a big hit. I mean, not doing anything. Strong tries to gun him down. There's really no answer for this. All right, so here we go. Lamar Jackson sends his running back in motion. He runs up the middle. He runs up the gut. All right. So you're giving Derrick Henry a rest. You got Rasheen Ali out there, former Marshall Thundering Herd. I watched him quite a bit, man, while I was covering Coastal Carolina. Yeah, he's a really talented running back, man. Really fun to watch. All right, so here we go. We got 2nd and 5. Lamar Jackson in a gun. Next to him is Justice Hill. He sends Zay Flowers in motion. Hand the ball up. No, it's actually an RPO, and he slips, and it is about as easy as pie. Lamar Jackson on the RPO for the 3rd time in this game, and this time it ends in a touchdown. And right now, the Buffalo Bills defense is absolutely on the rope, and Lamar Jackson and a Baltimore offense is giving these guys fits with the RPO as well as Derrick Henry running his football. They just basically faked everybody out. And then you had Mark Andrews slip out on a block, and all Lamar Jackson needed was one block, and he's into the end zone. All right, so just like that, 14 unanswered points by the Baltimore Ravens. No, excuse me, 17 unanswered points by the Baltimore Ravens. This is like playing Madden on rookie right now. The Buffalo Bills are going to have to find a way to be able to neutralize Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. They were doing a good job very early in the game. They were able to keep Lamar in the pocket, but seems like they kind of switched up the game plan offensively for Baltimore. Now they got Lamar using his legs, and doesn't seem like Baltimore really has an answer for any of the things that Baltimore is throwing at them right now. Tom Cable, Hugh Jackson, Jack Del Rio, and who was that? Rich Bisciotti didn't get fair chances with the Raiders. Man, I just think that the Raiders just need to stick with a coach. Say, TJ, real quick, when you get some free time, check out the show Parish on Prime. It's it's a show based on the boot. Okay, based in the boot. Okay, I can do that. Man, if you ask me, the combination of Lamar and Henry should be a Super Bowl. They should be in a Super Bowl this year. I agree. Ravens need Earl Thomas for O-line so he can block for Derrick Henry. Let's see, Jackson and Henry giving them boys the work. Yeah, absolutely. It's just no answer for that. Like you really don't have an answer for that, man. Like Derrick Henry to me is just too big and too powerful. And then Lamar Jackson on the RPO, it's just unfair, man. It's just unfair. There's only a few teams that can really be able to defend that kind of stuff, But I don't know. I'm wondering if is both Buffalo one of those teams. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about some of these other games. We talked about the Cincinnati Bengals Cleveland Browns game. 1-point victory for the Bengals. Wasn't Joe Burrow's best performance, but he was still able to, do enough, and the team was able to do enough. And good defensive performance also, man. I know people were concerned. I know I was one of them of the Cincinnati Bengals defense. So hopefully they can hopefully they can continue the momentum that they had this game against their division rival. Then you had the Steelers versus the Jets. That game was exciting, came down to the end. You had Aaron Rodgers throwing 4 touchdowns over the age of 40 and, with his new team. And it seems like he has a really good connection with his receivers, as Aaron Rodgers was 22 of 30, 244 yards and 4 touchdowns. You got DK Metcalf, 4 catches for 83 yards. Calvin Austin, 4 catches for 70 and a touchdown. All right, and we see Johnson going down the middle here. And, he's been running really well, him and, on special teams. So Let's just see what these guys can actually do, man. Let's see if Josh Allen can respond, because they're going to need to respond. And Corrington, who is actually in on that return, he as of right now, he has 3 returns for 91 yards, a 30-yard average right now. So him and Ty Johnson are really doing a good job on special teams. All right, so here we go. Here's the handoff right here. This is to Johnson. Johnson gets up the field, and he gets about 5, maybe 6 yards on the play. All right, so Buffalo needs to be able to counteract what Baltimore has been doing to them over the last couple of drives. I mean, after that first drive, it seemed like, they kind of been stuck in neutral here. All right, but Ty Johnson was able to maintain possession off that toss play. So luckily he was able to do that, because that would have been a disaster, the way that this game is going and how their defense is having a hard time stopping Lamar and Derrick Henry. All right, so here we go. And this is Elijah Moore here on the reverse here. So Elijah Moore, who's been around a few teams, Jets, Browns, finds his way with Buffalo, and he has that speed. He has that elusivity. He'll be able to get through tackles. And, he's also a guy that can be that down the field threat that Josh Allen needs on some of those big plays. Taking a look at Joe Brady, who was highly touted this past offseason, decided to come back to work with Josh Allen again, but pretty sure this offseason he'll be highly touted again for a team that may be looking for a coach. 1st and 10 for the Buffalo Bills after Elijah Moore run. We got Johnson in motion. This is actually a play. Actually, he slides over, and this pass is tipped and incomplete. And he tried to get the ball to Ty Johnson there, but credit to the defense of the Baltimore Ravens, they able to get a hand up and deflect that pass. I mean, this is a really good football team, man. Baltimore, they do a really good job at drafting guys, developing guys, especially on the defensive line, and they pay them too. These guys stay with them for a long time. 2nd and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. We got Josh Allen in a gun, James Cook in the backfield alongside him. Shakir in motion. He looks. This time he throws it to James Cook. James Cook gets around, and he doesn't get anything on that. So right now, stuck in neutral are the Buffalo Bills. They got to find a way to get the ball down the field. And if you don't convert this on this 3rd down play, it can be very, very tough for them to be able to come back in this game, being at home or not. All right, so here we go. You got the Baltimore Ravens all over them. I mean, and they're just a really good tackling team. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 9. Josh Allen steps up. He runs. He scrambles. He still looks down the field, and that pass is caught. That pass is caught by Keon Coleman. So that's what Buffalo fans want to see. They want to see Keon come through with these type of catches, and really good catch right there by Keon Coleman. All right, so here we go. And this is a pass off to Dawson Knox. He gets around the side, stiff arms Roquan Smith, and he gets enough for the 1st down. So now on back-to-back plays, you have the Baltimore Ravens getting back-to-back, the Buffalo Bills getting back-to-back 1st down. Yeah, it seemed like it's a lot of plays to try to get the defense of Baltimore kind of off their heels here. Got them kind of looking left and right here, trying to confuse them with some of the motion. All right, so here we go. This is a toss play off to James Cook. He gets around the side. He fights, and he's able to get about 6 or 7 yards on a play. So once again, this is a crucial drive for the Buffalo Bills. You have to believe they have to come away with some points on this drive, preferably a touchdown. I don't think field goals, you want to just be kicking field goals against Baltimore, especially the way that this offense has been so effective. But this is a really good drive for them because they're able to keep the drive alive, all the while keep their defense on the bench to be able to get a little rest after going after Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson for quite some time. All right, so here we go. Here's the handoff. This is the James Cook again. He leans forward. He tries to fight, but he doesn't get much on the play. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage, may have even got a yard on the play. So this is third down, and this is a crucial third down for the Buffalo Bills. Very early in the game, but once again, Baltimore seems like they figure some things out when it comes to the Buffalo Bills defense. And if you're Josh Allen, you got to find a way to convert this. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 3 for the Buffalo Bills. 5 minutes and 11 seconds left in the game. He's under center. Here we go, and he hands it off to Shakir. Shakir bounce around the side, and that is enough for a first down there. Little trickeration. Not the person you would think that you'll be handing the ball off to, but instead they just hand it off to him. And really good move. He's able to get up the field and get those 3 or 4 yards that are needed in order for them to get a first down. All right, so here we go. 9 plays, 58 yards, very methodical drive. And if you can come away with 6 points, this would be a win for them. Here we go, down the field, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Keon Coleman. So once again, it's second and 10 now. Josh Allen, 9 of 13, 62 yards and a touchdown. In the red zone yet again, trying to punch it in. All right, so 2nd and 10. All right, he sends Cook in motion. Tells him to come back. And this is a handoff. And here we go. Cook's up the middle. And he gets about 2 yards on the play. So it's going to bring up, you're going to bring up 3rd down. So this is yet another 3rd down that I feel that they need to convert. 3rd and 8 here. You want to try to make a play here. You definitely want to get a first down. But if nothing's there, Josh Allen may consider just thinking about scrambling for this if he can't find an open guy. All right, so here we go. Palmer in motion. All right, and he's looking, throws it, and that pass is caught. That's a stiff arm by Shakir, but he is not going to get the first down. Really good pursuit by the Baltimore Ravens just to get him down on the ground. So they're going to have to settle for a field goal here. And then comes Matt Prater because their kicker, Bass, is out for the season. So they signed Matt Prater earlier in the week, put him on the practice squad, activated him for this game, of course, for him to fill in for Bass, who is a really good kicker. It's unfortunate that they're going to be missing him for the entire season. That's unfortunate. But Matt Prater, 41 years old, has been in the league for a very long time, has been a really good, solid kicker in the league. And here we go. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and that is good. Pretty much a chip shot field goal of 25 yards. So not ideal, but, it could have been worse. Could not have had any points. So 17-10, Baltimore has the lead. But if you're the Buffalo Bills, you probably wish that you could have scored a touchdown there. All right. All right, sit tight. I'll be right back. I keep on forgetting every time like I move. Every time I move, I end up shifting the camera. So the camera was like facing towards my light. So I apologize for that. I got a motion webcam. So sometimes when I walk out of room, it follows me and I and I don't never look and see if it's facing me or not. But let me go ahead and turn off the motion sensor on that. All right. But thank you all so much. Once again, my name is TJ Jones, and this is the watch along for the Baltimore Ravens versus Buffalo Bills Week 1 game, Sunday Night Football, right here on the State of the NFL podcast. Thank you all so much for being here. Ask that you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. All right, so here we go. Here's the kickoff. Trying to get the ball back to the Baltimore Ravens. We know that Matt Prater just kicked a 25-yard field goal to put the Buffalo Bills within striking distance of the Baltimore Ravens, who lead by 7. All right, so here it is. All right, so here we go. Rasheen Ali with a really good return right there, man. Pretty much setting his team up almost at midfield. So really good field position right now for the Baltimore Ravens. And Baltimore Ravens are a heavy Super Bowl favorite this season. And if Derrick Henry continues to run like this, I can't see too many teams stopping Baltimore from getting to the Super Bowl. I can tell you that right now. Going to be pretty tough for a team. All right, so here we go. Derrick Henry, as we take a look, 7 rushes, 101 yards. Madden type stats right there. I mean, a mammoth yard average, and it continues as he as he runs. And I mean, there is absolutely no answer for Derrick Henry right now. This man might get 200 yards before the half is even over. All right, so I mean, no answer for him. I mean, he just getting yards up the middle, and if you allow Derrick Henry to get the second and third level, good luck. All right, so 217, trying to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning. Or maybe they won't. They'll probably just let it roll down to 2 minutes. I don't think that Lamar is going to snap this. Let's see if he will. Or they snapped it for the 2-minute warning. This is a handoff to Derrick Henry again. And he almost broke free, but that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Derrick Henry and the Baltimore Ravens are just dominating the Buffalo Bills right now. The score doesn't indicate it, but looking at this game, you have to believe otherwise. Josh barely has weapons. I mean, he got some talented guys out there, but yeah, has a guy really established himself as a number 1 on his team? No. Khalil Shakir is a really good receiver, really good slot guy. Keon Coleman is a possession guy. He's trying to establish himself. You got Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. I mean, anybody will take any one of those tight ends right now. And James Cook, you got a guy that catch the ball out of the backfield. This is still a good team at the end of the day, but also you have to take a look at the fact that they're playing the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens are one of the best teams in the league. And they will make the better teams look mere mortal. So I agree, TJ. The Ravens staff has always had a way to develop and maintain their defense and run game over the years. They draft really well. They develop their players and they pay their players. It's rare that you ever just see a Baltimore Raven player like just hit free agency like that. Like it's always somebody going to the Baltimore Ravens. Like who has been like a mainstay Baltimore Raven that you've seen like hit free agency? Like you don't see that. Like most of the time it's a player that was in free agency and they end up signing with Baltimore. So yeah. I think Sean McDermott is on a hot seat. I don't think he should be. Man. I think he's a really good coach. I think he's a really good coach. And Buffalo, they should know. It took a minute. It took a minute for them to find Sean McDermott. So I wouldn't be so quick to try to let him go. I'll be trying to figure some things out, especially since he has you knocking on the door of the AFC Championship game more so than not. I can live with the fact of going to the AFC Championship game and being on the outside looking in versus not winning the division at all and being a footnote. I'll take that any day of the week. Let's see. Shakur is so underrated. Yeah, I think he is. I mean, the way that they can utilize him, he has that speed. You can put him on the outside. You can put him on the inside. He can eat in the slot. We just seen him on a toss play. I mean, you can line him up in a multifaceted of ways. All right, 2nd and 5 for the Baltimore Ravens here. We got Lamar Jackson in the gun. He sends Justice Hill in motion. And now we have a free rusher there. Ball tipped up in the air, and it falls to the ground. Very dangerous right there. It could have been intercepted. Luckily, the offensive linemen were there to try to knock it down or try to put their big body in a way so the defender couldn't get it. All right, so basically you had a free rusher right there. And Lamar, he had the right read. The guy was open, but the defender was able to get his hands up in the air. So 3rd and 5 for the Baltimore Ravens. If you're Buffalo, you got to get these guys off the field. All right, so what we have here, looks like we have a timeout, and that timeout is by the Baltimore Ravens. So it looked like a little bit of miscommunication from the offense of Baltimore. Seems like Lamar Jackson and his receivers weren't on the same page there. So they called their first timeout of the half. So 1 minute and 53 seconds left. If you're Buffalo, you got plenty of time. You got plenty of time to try to get Baltimore to maybe kick a field goal or, try to get them off the field here. You definitely want to get them off the field. Want to force them to a field goal. You do not want the Baltimore Ravens to convert on this. You have to look. You have to make sure that Lamar isn't going to get you with the RPO. And for the last couple of third downs, you had issues and situations where Lamar Jackson just, pulled the ball and ran it himself. All right, so here we go, 3rd and 5. All right, we got Zay Flowers in motion here. Lamar in the gun, and he throws it, and that pass is – it looked like a little bit of confusion. I don't know, man. It looked like two guys may have somebody ran the wrong route. Somebody ran the wrong route because you had two defenders, right in the same spot. So let's see if Zay Flowers actually got this. Okay. I'm going to say that he caught it because the ball was underneath his hands, but let me take a look. Let's look at the other angle we have here. Yeah, I think he caught that. I think he caught it. The ball never hit the ground, and he had his hand underneath. So really good catch by Zay Flowers there. 3rd-year guy, man, out of Boston College. Really talented wide receiver, really coming into his own. Had injuries last year. Definitely trying to come back, more healthy and ready to take a part in this high-powered offense. All right, so what you're looking at, you got 2 timeouts. Everything's in your disposal right here. I mean, you can run the football, you can pass it, and you got a fresh set of downs. So what we got? We got Lamar Jackson. He's sending Justice Hill in motion. He hands it off to him, and Justice Hill fumbles the football, and it goes backwards and loses a ton of yards on the play. So, I mean, not just by Baltimore, but by both teams have had issues with getting those toss plays to running backs. We've seen Ty Johnson have a tough time with it, and now Justice Hill. But this is actually a good play by Joey Bosa here. Was able to get that big paw on the football and just knock the ball away. So Justice Hill loses a ton of yards on the play. Definitely don't want that. And that is another timeout being called by Buffalo. So right now they see a chance of them getting the ball back, maybe facilitating a 2-minute drill to try to get this game closer. And if they can stop the Baltimore Ravens from scoring here, who knows? They can maybe even tie the game. Anyone know how T-Mac performed in his debut today? So we're talking about Teteroa McMillan. Let's take a look at his stat line, man. I know that the Carolina Panthers didn't do much in the game. The score was 26-10. And let's take a look here. Bryce Young, not a really good performance. 18-35, 154 yards. We'll talk a little bit more about this. Then we got Zay Flowers on the jet sweep. He tries to go back around, and he gets absolutely nothing. He just jumped forward, try to get back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got anything on that play. So Joey Bosa on back-to-back plays is being disruptive. And this is what Buffalo wanted from him, and this is the reason why they brought him in. But Teteroy McMillan, he had 5 catches for 68 yards. He was targeted 9 times. He had a long of 21. So pretty solid performance by the rookie in his debut with the Carolina Panthers. Derek don't even look like he trying. I mean, this guy just big. He's physical. He's just a monster, man. Like the guy is just a monster. Like it's just like a cheat code. And Todd Monken in his third season with the Baltimore Ravens, and every single year it seems like Lamar Jackson just gets better and better, not just as a runner but as a pocket passer as well. All right, so here we go. Zay Flowers in motion. And this is just going to be a handoff right here to Lamar. Hands it off to himself, and they corral, and he goes absolutely nowhere. All right, so this ball is going to tick down, but the good news is the Buffalo Bills will still have a chance to get the ball back after this field goal attempt. All right, so Joey Bosa right there. Like, and it's good for him because he got tricked by like 2 times. 2 times Lamar Jackson was just able to tuck it and just run right around Joey Bosa, but he did not he did not get by that time. 49-yard field goal by the rookie Loop. All right, so here we go. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. I mean, they just know how to find field goal kickers, folks. Baltimore know how to find field goal kickers. They can't find nothing else. I believe their last few field goal kickers were Will Lutz, Justin Tucker, and now it looks like this rookie Loop looks like he's going to be the real deal. So Baltimore know how to find the kickers. I think every team in the league aspires to have a front office like the Baltimore Ravens because they just are really good at finding talent, no doubt about it. 254 people watching this across different platforms. I ask that you hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Shouts out to everybody that subscribed tonight to the State of the NFL. I appreciate that. Trying to grow that channel over there. Really need your help. So if you like NFL football, if you like these type of watch-alongs and things like this, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Once again, you're trying to make that channel grow and be successful and do shows like this where we do live watch-alongs. Sorry. Drinking a carbonated drink, didn't want to burp on camera. I feel like the Ravens' attitude and fan base is very similar to that of the Raiders. Same vibe done in an East Coast way. Yeah, I mean, they just about their business, man. Big physical football. That's what it's about. I mean, you basically take on the identity of the community that you're in. When you think about Baltimore, you just think about hard-nosed individuals, man. That's what you think about. So, who we haven't seen? We haven't seen DeAndre Hopkins in this game. I don't think we've seen D-Hop at all. Has anybody heard anything about DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, I would think that he's playing. Or maybe they just don't have him out there yet, but I haven't seen D-Hop. Haven't seen D-Hop at all. Let's see. I had faith in Bryce Young for a while, but I'm losing it. But who knows? He could go to another team and be the next Geno Smith. Yeah, I mean that. It just, I don't know. He just had a rough start. Maybe Jacksonville is better than I thought. I don't know. All right, so Ty Johnson tried to get down. Got about 25 seconds left. Want to see what the Buffalo Bills do in this situation as we look at Josh Allen, who was 10 of 14, 65 yards and a touchdown in this game. And good for the Buffalo Bills defense, able to neutralize Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens offense when they were in the red zone. So 1st and 10, we see Ray Davis in motion. I believe this is Ray Davis. First time I seen him tonight. So, all right, so we're seeing Kincaid in motion. And here we go. Josh Allen looking. And he's running. He's going to scramble here. He throws the ball down the field, and that pass is caught, and that's by Khalil Shakir. So right now you got 13 seconds, 12 seconds, 11 seconds. They're racing to the line of scrimmage here, trying to hurry it up, and he spikes the ball with about 7 seconds left on the clock. So you can do two things here. You can take a shot at the end zone, or you can try to play the sideline, try to get a little bit closer for a Matt Prater field goal. But you got Josh Allen stepping out of the pocket, looking, eyes always downfield, and he just tosses a pass down the field to Khalil Shakir, who was open. So, trying to extend plays right there, but that's a really good pass and catch. That is trust right there. He believes that Shakir is going to come up with the catch. All right, so you got 7 seconds left. You got the Baltimore Ravens with their second timeout of the first half. They got 1 left, and you got about 7 seconds on the clock. So this is, maybe a shot at the end zone, maybe, a shot to the sidelines, try to get out of bounds, set up a Matt Prater field goal where you can go into the half, once again, within striking distance, haven't been down 7 to Baltimore. And the way that the Baltimore offense has been rolling, I mean, this could be a plus for the Buffalo Bills. Okay, so here we go. We got the prevent defense right here. We got them playing a little bit of quarters, making sure that they're playing back, and they're playing the sidelines. We know Josh Allen has that arm. 5 seconds left, 4 seconds left, throws the pass down the field. That pass is caught, and he's able to get out of bounds, but there's no time left on the clock. The clock is at 0. So Josh Allen is saying that they had 1 second left on the clock. But nobody believes it. Lamar Jackson and crew running into the into the end zone. And let's see, we got 2 seconds. We got 1 second. He established possession, and he's out of bounds there. So I agree. There should have been at least 1 second left on the clock. But they're not. Are they going to give it to him? And you got 1 second left on the clock. All right, so Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens run to the locker room. But in the words of the great Lee Corso, not so fast. Not so fast. Really good catch by Dalton Kincaid right here. Able to understand clock management and had 1 second left on the clock. So this sets up a Matt Prater 43-yard field goal. And here we go. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. So really good clock management right there by Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense, able to get the ball out of bounds with 1 second left to set up a 42-yard field goal by Matt Prater. And it's good, and they are down by 7. So the 41-year-old Matt Prater with 2 field goals. D-Hop is busy watching you right now. Man, I know he on the team. I know he on the team. Bills defense can't stop run. They did a good job on that last possession. But man, it's so hard to stop Lamar Jackson. It is so hard to stop that guy. It is so hard to stop Lamar Jackson. I don't think people too much understand how hard it is to stop somebody. It's like having an extra player out there on the field. Because defenders are really just designed to do their job, right? Rushing the passer, You know, they ain't looking for no quarterback to be running no 4.3 40, running down there looking like a running back. So, yeah, man, it's just so hard to stop, man. But we talked a little bit about the Jacksonville Jaguars Carolina Panthers game, and you know we seen the frustration by Bryce Young on the sidelines. Dave Canales was trying to console him. He just kind of didn't want anything to do with it. I mean, these are there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Terrible stats: 18 to 35, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Had a quarterback rating of 20 and a rating of 49. Quarterback rating 20, a rating of 49. That is not getting it done. Trevor Lawrence, 19 to 31, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, had a QBR of 69 and a rating of 74. But Travis Etienne had a really big game. He had 16 carries for 143 yards. He had a long of 71 yards. So, I mean, they pretty much did everything that they wanted to do with these guys. Travis Hunter had 6 catches for 33 yards. He was targeted 8 times. So Travis Hunter also had a tackle. So he played a little bit of both ways in his game. It seemed like he was playing more offense than defense in this game. But, Chuba Hubbard, 3 catches for 32 yards. Roy McMillan led the team in reception, 5 catches for 68 yards. You don't want stats like this from your second-year guy, Xavier Legette, 3 catches for 10 yards. I mean, you got to be able to get some things done, man. But this is not going to get it done if you're a Carolina Panthers fan. Moving on, let's take a look at some of these other scores. I mentioned the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New York Jets game. This was a game where Aaron Rodgers came back to MetLife. Of course, he was with the Jets last season, and Aaron Glenn, who is the new head coach of the Jets, basically said to his face, we want to go in a different direction. So Aaron Rodgers came in very motivated and was 20 of 30, 244 yards and 4 touchdowns in the game. Jalen Warren, this is his show now, right? Now that you don't have Najee Harris in the backfield, he is the featured back. He had 11 carries for 37 yards. You got Kenneth Gainwell, the former Philadelphia Eagle, now with the Steelers, 7 carries for 19. You also have Caleb Johnson, only had a carry in the game. I'm wondering, will they utilize Caleb Johnson going forward? Pretty good, solid preseason campaign he had. DK Metcalf had 4 catches for 83 yards in his Pittsburgh Steelers debut. And Calvin Austin, I bet he's happy to see Aaron Rodgers, 4 catches for 70 yards and a touchdown. Then, of course, we know Pat Freiermuth, 3 catches for 28. So you got a couple guys that Aaron Rodgers is going to utilize. He likes utilizing the tight end, and he likes to use the down the field threat because he likes to throw that ball down the field. But credit to the Jets, they put forth a valiant effort. Once again, the score was 34 to 32. Came down to the wire. Justin Fields, 16 of 22, 218 yards and a touchdown. Bryce Hall had 19 carries for 107 yards. Knew there was a lot of talk about him possibly being traded, but I don't feel with this stat line, why would you want him to go anywhere? Definitely want to pay him. Justin Fields, 12 carries for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he had 3 total touchdowns in the game. You have Isaiah Davis and also Breland Allen. Breland Allen had 6 carries for 9 yards, and Isaiah Davis had 2 carries for 18. Garrett Wilson, 7 catches for 95 yards. Breece Hall, 2 catches for 38. Tyler Johnson, two catches for 31. Mason Taylor, a former LSU Tiger, had 1 catch for 20 yards. Josh Reynolds, 2 catches for 18. And Jeremy Ruckert had 2 catches for 16. And you had a pretty busy defense, man, or lack thereof. Wasn't much defense being called in this game when it scored 34 to 32. But you did have Quincy Williams, who had a sack, and he had 6 tackles on the day. The top tackler for the Pittsburgh Steelers was Chuck Clark with 8 tackles. Also, Alex Highsmith had a sack in the game, and that was the only sack registered by the Pittsburgh Steelers. So really good performance by both teams, really showing their offensive prowess. Defensively, they got to go back to the drawing board because both of these team defenses look very, very suspect in this game. Let's see. Panthers are down bad. Lee Corso said copyright strike, fool. Not so fast, my friend. Man, congratulations on an incredible career, Lee Corso. Of course, he retired a couple of weeks ago. And look, man, that was the voice of college football to me, one of the voices of college football to me, man. Watching old Lee Corso, man, put the mascot head on to show who he feels is going to win the game, and just his animated personality. That's going to be missed, man. A lot of the young generation don't really appreciate what Lee Corso was. They probably see him as that old man that just sitting up there and sitting next to Kurt Herbstreit to make sure, he don't say nothing too crazy, right? But once upon a time, man, that guy was college football, man. So congratulations on a stellar career, no doubt about that. Also, in a little bit of a defensive struggle, we had the Los Angeles Rams knocking off the Houston Texans 14-9. Now, both of these teams are one of those teams that in each respective division are looked at as a team that can make some noise this season. You got C.J. Stroud with 19 of 27, 188 yards, no touchdowns, one pick, QBR 43, rating of 74. Not one of C.J. Stroud's better games. He is one of the premier young quarterbacks in the league, but definitely was not the type of game you want to see from C.J. Stroud. A really good defensive performance by the Los Angeles Rams, keeping him in check. Nick Chubb, in his Texans debut, he had 13 carries for 60 yards. C.J. Stroud had 5 carries for 32 yards on the ground. Those were the two leading backs for them, the running back and the quarterback. And also the wide receivers, Jaden Higgins, the rookie out of Iowa State, end up getting 2 catches for 32 yards. Xavier Hutchinson, 2 catches for 30. Dalton Schultz, 3 catches for 28 yards. Justin Watson, 2 catches for 27. Nico Collins, not the type of stat line you would expect from a guy of his caliber, but he had 3 catches for 25 yards. And Cade Stover, former Ohio State Buckeye, had 4 catches for 22 yards. All right, then you have Puka Nacua, 10 catches for 130 yards. Devontae Adams, 4 catches for 51 yards. You have Xavier Smith, 1 catch for 36. Blake Corum had 1 catch for 14 yards. And you have a couple guys with a couple of catches, 1 catch. David Allen, Tutu Atwell, Kyron Williams, and also Kobe Parkinson, the tight end, had a couple catches, but only had a negative 6 yards, so he was going backwards in the game. But yeah, that's that was a defensive struggle of a game where it seems like both teams were able to get the best out of the other. The sack leaders for the Rams was Byron Young. He had a sack. Tyler Davis had a sack. Jalen McCullough had a sack, and that was a total of 3. And when you look at the Baltimore Ravens, Houston Texans, you got Henry Tutu had 1 sack. You also had Will Anderson with a sack, and also C.J. Gardner-Johnson, man, had 4 tackles in his game. This was a guy that people thought maybe wouldn't even be available this season because they thought that maybe he did something very, very serious to his knee. So good to see C.D. Deuce out there doing his thing in the Houston Texans uniform. So that's the Houston Texans Los Angeles Rams game. Like I said, both teams are projected to be some Super Bowl favorites. The Rams were that team that gave the Eagles fits. They gave them all they can handle, and they could possibly be there in the end. So be on the lookout for the Rams. That boy Bryce garbage truck juice. See, Tyler Bass is not out for the season. He's on IR for 4 games. You know what? Look, I'm glad you said that, Dalton, because I'm glad you mentioned that because I went back and I actually tried to double check that, but I didn't correct that. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, he's on IR, but he's only out for a couple of weeks. I said he was out for the season. I apologize for that. He is not out for the season. They just put him on IR where he's going to be missing a few games. Appreciate that, Dalton. Appreciate that. I was going to make that correction, and I ended up slipping my mind because I was doing play-by-play. But I appreciate that, Dalton. Our 5th round pick quarterback playing better than their former number 1 pick. Yeah, I thought that Spencer Rattler played well today. You know, a lot of first reads. A lot of first reads. A lot of first reads. I mean, a lot of first reads. I mean, he went full-fledged college football out there today. I mean, he didn't even I don't even really think he went through his progressions. But I think that'll come with time. I think it was more so like, man, let me just go ahead and establish myself, do what they asked me to do, and everything else will take care of itself. I think it was one of those situations, but I mean, he was. I mean, talking about first read. Soon as he dropped back to pass, throw it. I mean, if Juwan Johnson was his first read, soon as Juwan Johnson out that break, Juwan Johnson. If Brandon Cooks out the read, Brandon Cooks. I mean, you got to be able to read through your progressions, man. But maybe he didn't think he had time messing around with that offensive line. But the old line played pretty well for the New Orleans Saints today. No doubt about that. Texans got to fix that O-line if they want to be a contender. Yeah, man. I mean, getting rid of Larry Tunsil is not ideal. You know, Larry Tunsil right now is protecting Jaden Daniels in Washington. But yeah, I mean, look, you got to be able to fix your offensive line. You got to be able to give CJ Stroud some time. But look, I'm not going to put too much stock into that though, because the Rams got one of the best pass rushing football, man. These guys aren't slouches over there. They know how to get to the quarterback. So I think that's more so of how good the Rams are, more so than what the Houston Texans lack. I think that the Rams can do that to some of the best offensive lines. But their offensive line does need a little bit of help, though. Josh doesn't have number 1 receiver, in my opinion. Yeah, I think they need a little bit more out the wide receiver position. I can agree to that. I can agree they need a little bit more out the position. You know, I think that's something that they need. They need somebody that's that reliable target. And you got a bunch of really talented guys out there. You know, you got a bunch of really talented guys, but at the end of the day, now you need that number 1 guy. That guy that's going to be able to get it, no matter if he's double teamed, no matter if he's one-on-one, he's going to win that matchup. All right, so here we go. We got the Buffalo Bills kicking off to the Baltimore Ravens to start the second half right here on the State of the NFL watch-along edition, Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. All right, so here we go. They're in Buffalo, and this time he's going to take a knee, so this is going to bring the ball down to the 35, to the 30-yard line, excuse me. You know, with this new kickoff rule that they have now, it's like, it seems like they get down the field even faster now. Y'all notice that? Like, now it just seems like they're always crossing plus territory. Like, now all you got to do is, like, if kicking the ball into the end zone, now all you got to do is just go 20 yards to go to midfield. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy how the NFL is now. But it just tells you that they want these teams to score points. Oh, excuse me. The ball is on the 35-yard line. So I'm like, it just becomes easier and easier. This just becomes easier and easier for these teams to just get down there. Not like, so if you take a knee, the ball on the 35. So now you just need 15 yards to get to the 50. Here's a handoff to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry slices through the thing about Derrick Henry is he's so big, it's like he leans forward, he gets about 4 yards. Yeah, what can you really do about that? You really can't do anything about it. I mean, this guy's like a linebacker playing running back. Like, it's completely unfair. All right, so you got 12 seconds. We got Lamar Jackson looking at his quarterback wristband here. All right, you got Zay Flowers in motion on the 2nd and 7. Here's the rush. This time Lamar Jackson able to get through, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. So he gets a few yards on a play. But credit to the defense of the Buffalo Bills. Seems like right now they're able to keep Lamar Jackson in check. So this a team went into the locker room. Hopefully they can make some adjustments to be able to stop Derrick Henry, man. And did y'all see that block by Derrick Henry, man? I know y'all just seen this man just throw this man. I mean, that is a safety. And he's treating this man like an infant child. And he throws down the field to a wide open Zay Flowers to the 40, to the 30. He makes somebody miss, and he is down at the 22-yard line. Zay Flowers. And this has been a very rough drive. This has been a very rough drive for the secondary of the Buffalo Bills. I mean, getting tossed around when they're coming on a blitz. All right, you got Zay Flowers just running a drag route here, gets behind Bernard, and this is a drive where Bernard definitely wants back. All right, Zay Flowers just gets in there, finds the soft space inside of the coverage, and they're just able to get down the field. But this is what happens. All right, so he gets it right back to Zay Flowers, makes a miss. 10-5 touchdown, Zay Flowers. And yet again, the Baltimore Ravens just drive down the field, man. I mean, just unbelievable. Goes right back to Zay Flowers on a wide receiver screen. All right, so you see, this is what Lamar Jackson brings to the table. You got two defenders that just get frozen because they're watching Lamar Jackson move, which allows Zay Flowers to be able to, I mean, just cut right past him. So that's the dynamic of having a mobile quarterback. I mean, they basically froze two defenders that could have been right there for Zay Flowers, to be corral Zay Flowers, but instead a wide receiver screen, gets one block and just goes up the field. And I mean, it's pretty easy stuff right here. So that is the magic of Lamar Jackson being a part of the play and affecting the play, even when he don't even have to, even when he's not a part of the play. Jets look good. A-Rod just was doing his thing. Yeah, he had something to prove, playing with a chip on his shoulder. People have been picking the Bills for like 4 to 5 years now. They will only be known for losing 4 straight Super Bowls. I mean, the Bills known for much more than that, man. They've knocked on the door and they got knocked down 4 times. But man, look, Buffalo Bills still gonna be there, and we got to look. This is just week 1. Like what happened in these games today are not indicative of what this season can be like for a lot of these teams. A lot of times like we fall for, the things that we see in real time. And over the next couple of weeks, some of these teams not even talked about because they didn't fell off. Rather it's because of injuries, rather because of dysfunction. Things happen. But when it comes to these two teams, like it don't get no better than this. And Baltimore are one of the best teams in the league. So of course you're gonna have of course you're going to have like games where, sorry about that, folks. Yeah, of course you're going to have games where, they're going to look dominant. Are you a White Sox fan? Yeah, I used to be back in the day. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, Josh, I used to be a White Sox fan. Oh man, I used to like the Atlanta Braves too. I got my Atlanta Braves hat right here. Yeah, and grew up like liking the Atlanta Braves, liking the White Sox because of Frank Thomas used to be there. So I used to watch. I used to watch the White Sox quite a bit, like growing up. Jess says, "Come on, Ravens." Let's see. That's what we need. I know we're talking about a good running back like that. I mean, look, if you're talking about having a running back like Derrick Henry, you got something. Like that's the type of guy he can lead you to the promised land. All right, so here we go. This ball bounced. It's going out of bounds. That was just a terrible kick in his own right. I was wondering what the heck was going on there. So that ball is going to be placed at the 40-yard line. So now you gave them an extra 5 yards versus kicking into the end zone. Yeah, so instead of the 35, you're placing at the 40-yard line. So the first rookie mistake we seen from the rookie. All right, so you can't kick the ball out of bounds like that, man. Can't do that. All right, so here we go. Josh Allen down by 2 touchdowns. Let's see if Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills can keep this thing interesting and close. All right, we got Palmer in motion. Here's the handoff. This handoff is to James Cook. He gets around the side and gets a few yards on the play. I got to say, James Cook has not been as effective as we have seen him in games past here. I mean, he recently got paid, got the contract extension. Of course, we know he held out during the offseason, but they were able to come to an agreement, and he got himself paid, man. Congratulations to him. So now that he's paid, man, there's a lot of expectations come with a nice new contract. All right. Josh Allen under center. You got Palmer in motion, and they hand it off to James Cook again. He fights forward, and he gets a few more yards. So this is going to set up a third and manageable, maybe like a 3rd and 3. So very manageable third down. And you have to believe that this is 4th down territory. Even if you don't get this, you gotta do it. And we take a look at Mike Green, the 2nd-round pick out of Marshall, was a guy who was extremely active, double-digit sack guy at Marshall. A lot of people thought he may have been a 1st-round draft pick, one of the top pass rush taken, but of course he slid down the draft board. Some questions, but I think he's a talented guy. Josh Allen slips past the defenders and he's able to get the 1st down. So for the first time in a game, you really see Josh Allen scramble. There's a lot of times where he was actually using his feet just to extend time in the pocket. Now we see him take off and run on a 3rd and 3, and he's able to convert. I mean, it's wide open. And maybe that's because he hasn't been running. They have been taking that into consideration and maybe changing up a defensive play. But good for Josh Allen, just able to find that the opportunity is there and just runs forward to get that 1st down. All right, so 1st and 10, under center. Hands the ball off to James Cook, and he's free. And he gets around the side. He gets 10 yards, and he gets the 1st down. He gets about 11 or 12 yards on the play. So he barrels forward, man. Really good run play right there. So that's what you want to see out of James Cook. You want to see James Cook. And, I mean, this was a really good block right here. I mean, you got the defenders over pursuing, and you have James Cook just running up the field right there. Really good run by the Buffalo Bills. So 1st and 10, got yourself a little bit of a little jumbo package right here. You got Khalil in motion. All right, so here we go off the play action. Looking. Josh Allen throws the ball downfield, and that pass is tipped, and it goes to the ground. That is incomplete. So you're messing with Kyle Hamilton, the highest paid safety in the league. Right now, maybe the best safety in the league. Depends on who you talk to. He's definitely up there. All right, so he's looking. And he tried to get it to Joshua Palmer. Joshua Palmer streaking across the field. And Kyle Allen was right there. So big-time collision right there between both guys. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 10. Josh Allen in the gun, and he's able to dump it off, and that is to Cooks. So that's a 3rd down. They ain't getting much on the play. Tackled by Woozier. You got Jair Alexander, former Green Bay Packer. He's out there, along with Malachi Starks, rookie out of Georgia, top safety in this past draft. A lot of young talent, a lot of promising talent on his football team. 3rd and 8 for the Baltimore Ravens. You got Kincaid in motion. Here's the snap. Josh Allen looking, and he chunks it down. And this was a pass, and that is caught. And I believe that was by And they're actually going to go for it on 4th down. All right, so here we go. 4th and 5. This is a crucial play right there. On the field right now, Josh Allen looking, throws the ball down the field. And that pass is incomplete, but there is a flag on the play. And it looks like it's going to be pass interference on Jair Alexander. Not something that you normally see all the time, but Jair Alexander, the former All-Pro cornerback, tries to, yes, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it is pass interference. We see Jair Alexander putting Joshua Palmer's hands behind his back, and I don't think that he has a badge, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is a pass interference penalty right there. So that's going to bring up 1st and goal. We got Josh Allen. Big opportunity for the Buffalo Bills. You got to come away with 6 points. And here we go on a quarterback draw. Josh Allen goes around the side, and he gets tackled at about the 3-yard line. So he tries to get around the corner, but can't. You got Roquan Smith right there on the tackle. Sean McDermott, a lot of pressure on him this season. Been knocking on the door of the Super Bowl. All right, so we see Shavers. We got Keon Coleman in the game. We got looking like could this be one of those passes? You got one-on-one down at the bottom. Will this be the Keon or not? Okay, now this is just a handoff to James Cook into the end zone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a touchdown by the Buffalo Bills. So James Cook, who is extremely effective on that drive, rather it was him running between the tackles or catching the ball on the check down, he's able to get behind the center and guard and just barrel his way to the touchdown. And that is a much needed touchdown by the Buffalo Bills. They needed that in a major way. All right, so Matt Prater's in to cut into this lead a little bit more, and that is up, and it is good. So right now, well, we do have a flag on the play, a little bit of laundry. Hold the phone. Let's see what's going on. Once again, a flag on the play. We got the referees in deliberation here. And it's going against the Baltimore Ravens. So they're trying to see if head coach Sean McDermott is going to accept or decline this penalty. All right, so instead of them taking the points by Matt Prater, the penalty puts the ball at the 1-yard line, the 2-yard line in order for them to try to go for 2 points. So you got yourself a big 6'5", 250-pound quarterback that can easily just barrel his way forward. And maybe you can cut this lead. Instead of cutting into it by 1 touchdown, you can actually have Baltimore holding on to a 6-point lead. All right, so, I mean, there's many ways that you can approach this. To me, I think that you might want to just run this halfback draw straight ahead with Josh Allen, but let's see if they come up with something different here. All right, hand it off to Ray Davis, and no. Josh Allen scrambling around the side, throws it, and that pass is caught by Keon Coleman for 2. So Josh Allen doing what Josh Allen does, which is extend plays with his legs, allowing his wide receivers to break off the route. But hold the phone, ladies and gentlemen, there is a flag on the play. We got a couple referees holding their hat. They wonder, Did he go out of bounds? Did he step out of bounds? Now the question is, was he pushed out of bounds? And it looks like he was. It's an incomplete pass, so you can't go out of bounds. But I was wondering, like, if you was to push someone out of bounds. Wow. So you didn't take the points on the extra point, and then you go for two, and you get absolutely nothing. Wow. Well, that's one of those situations where if it works, you're a genius. If it doesn't, then you're a moron. That's one of those situations, man. 281 people watching this right now. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We really, really appreciate that if you did. What y'all think? Was it pass interference? Jair Alexander ain't got no badge. Tell him to stop impersonating us, says the cops. He was out. Yeah, he was out and he reestablished himself, which I honestly thought, like, if you push somebody out of bounds, but they don't go out on their own accord and they come back in, like, I just thought, like, you still are eligible. But hey, you learn something new every day. You see the DBs are smart over here, over there. Yeah, pushing them out of bounds. But, you know, that's the one thing that drives defense is crazy about Josh Allen. Josh Allen, to me, he reminds me, he plays like Ben Roethlisberger. How, you know how Big Ben used to, like, break outside the pocket. Then you had your wide receivers used to break off their routes. Now, look, if you're a wide receiver, you love this type of quarterback. You just do. You just love this type of quarterback because it allows you to make plays. Like, let's just say if you run a corner route, oh man, oh snap, you know, you get off your break, you don't see him, and you see your quarterback like basically roll into the other direction. Oh snap, let me break off my route. So you hurry up and hustle across the field, and he just throw you a pass. Like, it's a fun offense, but man, it's a frustrating offense, you know, for a defense to be able to have to hold your cornerbacks that long because wide receivers that long, and you're chasing these guys around once they break off the route. So it's a headache. It's a headache if you are a defender. But if you're a wide receiver, you're excited because you know you're going to eat either way. We could have got a player like Will Johnson or Mike Green in the second round pick. Yeah, you could have. But okay, you got the Falcons and the Vikings on next week on Sunday Night Football. So you got the Vikings, J.J. McCarthy in his second year, first year as a starter, more like his rookie year. Then you got Michael Penix, who is his second year guy, but more like his rookie year. He started in a few games last year, so should be an exciting game among, you know, young, promising quarterbacks. I got the Vikings in that game. Just want to let y'all know from the rip. Got the Vikings. I think the Vikings won't eat in that game, but that's just me. That's just me, folks. All right, so the kickoff to the Baltimore Ravens. This will be returned by Rasheen Ali. He gets pulled down to the ground by Thompson, but he does get past the 30-yard line. So really good field position. Like, regardless, like when they kick into the end zone or somebody runs it out, it's always going to be good field position because you're going to get at least to about the 25-yard line at best. But Derrick Henry has been a monster in this game, big-time runs. I mean, he's getting to the second level before he's even touched. A couple big plays that he had, I mean, he got to the second level before he was even touched. All right, so here's the handoff to Derrick Henry again, and he barrels forward. And once again, there's no answer for him. If I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I'm taking that into consideration. I know you don't want to run a big man into the ground, but this game, it just seemed like it's him, all him. And, I mean, right now, as we speak, Derrick Henry as a total of 126 yards on 12 carries. He's averaging 10.5 yards a carry, folks. I'm going to say that again. He's averaging 10.5 yards a carry. All right, so here we go. Off to Derrick Henry again. This time, they're like, enough of this nonsense. And we got Oliver all up in his face. Like, man, enough of this. I'm tired of this dude. And now it brings up third down. I mean, Ed Oliver is like, man, enough of this nonsense. And he just completely bull rushes Rosengarten back into the pocket. And he just like, no, that's enough, big man. Not today. All right, so in the gun, Lamar Jackson looking, throws the ball down the field, and that is incomplete. Bateman looking for a flag. There is none. Which it seemed like the ball was pretty much overthrown anyway. But let's see, Benford on Rashad Bateman here. So here we go. Tries to get, okay, I can understand the frustration. Got his hand on him, holding him. He's wondering. Referees didn't see that. Can't see everything, but I can understand Rashad Bateman being a little bit upset about that, being pulled. But here's the punt. Good hang time right here. And Ty Johnson, man, look, I get it, my friend. I 100% understand you trying to make a play, bro, but sometimes you got to signal for a fair catch. Like sometimes you just got, quarantine. Like sometimes you got to live to fight another day. I know you're one of those players that probably don't get too many touches, and sometimes you got to live to fight another day. Luckily for him, that played in an absolute disaster. Says illegal touching. And he blew that tackle up. Yeah. Yeah, he blew Rosengarten up. Ed Oliver was like, man, enough of this nonsense. Man, TJ, me and you like the same baseball teams. Yeah, man. I mean, I grew up. I used to like the Atlanta Braves because it was the only that was the closest professional baseball team to New Orleans. Of course, at the time when I was in New Orleans, it was the minor league team, the Zephyrs. The Zephyrs was the minor league baseball team, but I mean, the closest team, unless you like the Houston Astros or the Atlanta Braves. I used to like the Atlanta Braves, with Greg Maggs, the pitcher, and Chipper Jones, and Tomei and all them, man. Like they used to be, man. They used to be pretty good, man. I was a huge Chipper Jones fan. So, yeah, man. I grew up liking those baseball teams. And who didn't like Ken Griffey Jr.? Everybody liked Ken Griffey, right? Just say I miss the Zephyrs. Yeah, I mean the Zephyrs used to be the squad, man. Used to go out there on airline, and watch those Zephyrs games. Tickets weren't like all expensive and stuff like that. It was some of the best time of my life. Shouts out to my uncle Bill. He used to like always get those Zephyr tickets, and me and my cousin Darren, his son, we used to all go out to the games, man, and used to have a really good time. Man, that used to be man, that was some fun times right there. Those are times as kids, like you can never get back. Like you can never get those times back. But those were some of the funnest times of my life, man. Speaking of fun, got to go ahead. I'm want to put this picture up here, man. Share with you all. So, my son, who has been playing flag football, had his first flag football game of the season this past weekend. And he got the victory, man. His team, they got the victory, the very first victory of the year. And, man, this is like a really exciting time for me. I was able to, I coached the defense of his team. This is me and him getting ready for the game. I'm putting his gloves on and getting started. So, yeah, I was coaching the defense of his flag football team. We're able to get the victory, man. They won 45-12, man. He woke up this morning as we see James Cook get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. He woke up this morning talking about, Dad, we beat the Jets. His team is called the Cowboys. and they beat the team named the Jets. He was like, "Daddy, we beat the Jets 45-12." I'm like, "Yeah." So he was excited about it, man. He was excited about it, man. My little man out there, playing defense and pulling flags. So he excited about it, man. It just makes me excited. And now he's starting to get into football, which, I appreciate. I appreciate just being able to spend time with him and be able to talk football. He'll be up right now watching his team. He loves the Buffalo Bills. All right, so we had Josh Allen on a scramble, and it looked like he got about 9 yards, but there's a flag on the play. You got to believe that this got to be against the offense here. But let's see what the referee has to say. So we got holding on the offense. So even though Josh Allen has been given max effort this entire game, they're going to go 10 yards back. So, but this has been a relatively clean game by both teams. Both teams, haven't really done anything, that's egregious. You had a couple pass interference penalties. Well, one pass interference penalty, but other than that, man, it's been a relatively clean game. But that goes to show you the type of coaches that are on each side of this football. Very disciplined football teams of Buffalo and Baltimore. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 18. All right, you got Josh Allen calling out the protections. He is in the gun. He's looking. He has to step up. He stepped up in a pocket, tried to run, flips the ball forward to Khalil Shakir, and if he doesn't get the first down, he gets close to it. So Josh Allen just flicks the ball. Look at the flick of their wrist by Josh Allen. Just, like I said, just does a really good job, senses the pressure, moves up in the pocket, and just flips the ball forward before Kyle Van Noy gets him. They didn't get the first down, but I believe they got it this time. But wait a minute, let's see what's going on here. It looks like Josh Allen leaned forward, but some extracurricular activity that involved Dalton Kincaid. You got some pushing and shoving going on, but it's goes to show you how important this game is to these players. All right, so you got Awuzie and Kincaid. He trying to block him down the field. Awuzie took exception to that and was able to just slam Kincaid down to the ground. He's looking for a flag, but I think you're going to get it there, big guy. I think you're going to get no flag on that, especially when you're the instigator. 1st and 10. All right, we got Shavers in motion. Ray Davis tries to cut forward, tries to cut up the field, gets a few yards on the play. So you're able to get a few yards on the play. Clock continues to tick. Buffalo trying to keep this drive alive, trying to cut into this deficit here. All right, so here we go. We're looking at a 2nd and 8 by Josh Allen and the offense of the Buffalo Bills. And you got some rushers in this game, man. I wonder if they're going to try to get some pressure on Josh Allen here. They're rushing, and they're trying to collapse the pocket. He throws the ball down the field, and that pass is incomplete. And that's really good coverage by the Baltimore Ravens secondary there. Tries to get the ball to Joshua Palmer, but that pass is incomplete. As Marlon Humphreys, one of the best creme de la creme of the National Football League at the cornerback position. So, I mean, the Ravens right now, man, they have a really good, formidable secondary. A lot of talent out there. Guys fly to the football, not afraid to put their head in and make some tackles. All right, so here we go. 3rd and 8. Very crucial 3rd and 8. Josh Allen looking, scrambling around, runs. He's looking, throws the ball down the field, and that pass is incomplete. And Kyle Hamilton, like, why in the world are you trying me? That's the way he's looking at Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense. Like, why are you trying me like this? I mean, it was a good effort. He tries to get around him because he feels like Kyle Hamilton back is turned. But look, this guy's one of the best, like I said, if not the best safety in football. Why are you trying this guy? And it just doesn't happen. So it forces Buffalo to punt. All right. So Wester, the former Colorado Buffalo, rookie out of Colorado, just signals a fair catch. Kyle Hamilton is a very special football player. Very special. I wish we had a Hamilton on the Saints. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kyle Hamilton is a special player, man. I know Jamarcus Russell loved Al Davis. Yeah, I know he did. He gave him that type of money. You know, man, I want to say Jamarcus Russell was like one of the last rookies. You remember the rookies used to be getting them $50 million deals and all that kind of stuff? Like, man, Jamarcus Russell was like one of the last like group of like rookies to get something like that. Because then they started putting like a cap on rookie and stuff. Like I think they only can get like maybe like 20 to 27 million or something. But them rookies used to get paid. They used to get them boys a whole lot of money and don't do absolutely nothing. Be straight bust. Straight dog. Yeah, Kyle Hamilton is a dog. He's a dog. It says, congrats, Pac, man. Yeah, man. I'm excited for my little man. Like I said, he got his first victory. He played well out there, man. He was out there hustling, doing his thing. I was like, man, look at him. I put him, he was playing on defense. We had him at the interior line position. I said, my boy was out there scrapping, man, trying to stop the run. I said, look at him. I said, look at my little man out there trying to stop the run. Yeah, but he's starting to like football, and we've been going to like the local high school. Shouts out to Carolina Forest High School. Going to like their games and stuff like that. And he likes going out there, man, watching the high school play. Man, he be cheering like we know somebody out there. I be messing with him. I'm like, man, you cheering like you know somebody out here playing. Don't know nobody, but just out there just cheering his little heart out. But I ain't like, but that's pretty cool, man. He's excited. He's excited about football, man. You know, like I said, which makes me excited for him because it's like, you know, you introduce your kids to sports and stuff, and you know they might be into it or they may not, but you still want them to be active and doing something. But he's actually starting to like it. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I get it, man. You know, Kyle Hamilton had his back turned, but I wouldn't even want to try that guy. Yeah, man, this is my boy, right? This is my boy Pagan getting that tackle for loss. Boy getting that tackle for loss. Got that tackle for loss, man. All right, so 1st and 10, play action. Lamar Jackson, and he just throws it down to Zay Flowers in 50, 40. And he tries to get around the side, and he's tackled, but a big chunk of yards by Zay Flowers. I mean, they're basically doing whatever they want to do right now to the Buffalo Bills. And here we go right here. We see him just basically just streak across the field, wide open. I mean, and he just running down the field, running free. I mean, and when you get a guy who is this fast and you get him catching the ball in stride, it is hard to bring him down. Zay Flowers, six catches for 134 yards, a monster night. All right, so here we go. Derrick Henry barreling forward. All right, I think this might be the first time I see DeAndre Hopkins tonight. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 7. See if Buffalo can actually stop the bleeding here. Lamar Jackson looking, and he throws the ball down the field. This is the D-Hop. Whoa, unbelievable. One-hander on 2 defenders. I was wondering what D-Hop was tonight. What a catch. Benford draped all on him, man. Unbelievable. This was a guy that people thought maybe he was going to retire. But DeAndre Hopkins just snags it out of there. One hand. The defender grabs his other hand. He just snatches it out of the sky and just walks to the sideline like, I just do this all the time. Unbelievable, man. Wow. DeAndre Hopkins, man, still doing it. I mean, grabbing his man hand and just one hands it out of the sky, man. 33-year-old DeAndre Hopkins just comes in the game off the bench, cold as ice, and just goes down and just scores a touchdown and just said, this is what I do. Unfreaking believable. Unbelievable stuff right there, man. I mean, this man was draped up, dripped out all on his man. One hand snag. Unbelievable catch by DeAndre Hopkins. I'm talking about prime time ESPN, tune up the music, type stuff right there, man. I was wondering where he was. I know y'all heard me for the last couple hours. Like, where's DeAndre Hopkins? I know he played for the team, but yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, man, still out there making big plays like that. Let's see. That cat showed up like Mr. Came out of nowhere, didn't he? Said, damn, what a catch. That's a dagger right there. Yeah, ball game. Yeah, you got to believe that. Man, what a catch. That is a 33-year-old. Look, I don't really too much lobby for guys to go to the Hall of Fame, but DeAndre Hopkins deserves to go to the Hall of Fame. Like, the fact that this guy has been as effective as a wide receiver as he has been throughout his career. And, man, it's very rare that he had quarterbacks that were about something, throwing him the football. For the last probably 4 or 5 years of his career, he finally had some quarterbacks that can give him the ball. He was able to have Patrick Mahomes. Now he got Lamar Jackson. You know, like, looking at this guy's career, the fact that he's able to put up some of the numbers he has throughout his career and it's just unbelievable, man. Like, all those bad quarterbacks that he had out in Houston. And this man has had 12,965 yards and 83 receiving touchdowns in his career, man. 984 receptions. You got to believe if he gets, about 16 more, he'll be in that 1,000-catch club. And most guys that get those 1,000 catches normally get that gold jacket. He definitely deserves one. What a catch, man. What a catch. I mean, Benford like had his arm grabbing him, and he just brings it in. One-handed, man. Catches it at the nose of the football. Yeah, so Buffalo going to have to put their foot on the gas here. Here we go. All right, Corrington tries to get around the side, and pretty decent return there. But we do have a flag on the play. Let's see what this flag is all about. Oh, we got Kyle Hamilton. Look like he's trying to put on another pair of gloves there, trying to get the equipment staff to try to help him out in that effort. All right, so here we go. We got the refs. Look like there's a flag on the play. So we got holding on a return team. It's always normally holding on a return team is what they call on some of these special teams return, like punt returns or kick returns. So it's going to back up Buffalo just a little bit more. But, you know, I mean, with a pass like that, you're going to show that over and over again all week long. I mean, this guy, it was double coverage. But I tell you what, man, these older wide receivers, like with Keenan Allen on Friday night, and now you see DeAndre Hopkins, like 30 is the new 20, the way that these guys are playing. But we see a carry by James Cook, leans forward, gets a few yards on the play. I mean, 30 is the new 20. You're looking at Keenan Allen, you're looking at DeAndre Hopkins. My goodness. 43 seconds left in the third quarter. The Baltimore Ravens seem like they're flexing their muscle right now. They're having a really good time, man. They're enjoying themselves. 2nd and 6, you got Shakur in motion. You got Josh Allen in the gun. All right, he's looking for the protection. He's calling it out, trying to get his offense set. And here it goes the snap. Looking, pump fakes, rolls to his right, and he connects. And this pass is caught, and this is to Joshua Palmer. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. So you move the chains, but in the start of the 4th quarter, Buffalo will have the ball. And, man, they're going to have to score on this drive, man, to make this thing competitive. But an embarrassment of riches. An embarrassment of riches by the Baltimore Ravens. You think it's over, or you think Allen got some to say before it's over? I don't never think it's over when you got some elite quarterback play. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't never think it's over till the clock hits 0. So no, I'm not gonna say that. But the way that this defense seems like it doesn't have an answer to what Buffalo is trying to cook up. It seems like Todd Monken is just basically doing whatever the heck he wants, calling whatever he wants, and it has Buffalo on the ropes. It's kind of hard to believe that they're going to be able to stop what Baltimore is doing. Rather, it's Baltimore trying to, run the football or even pass the football. So, I mean, they're pretty much doing whatever they want to do. All right, we'll be right back. Start of the 4th quarter, you got 1st and 10. Josh Allen in the gun, looking, throws the ball, and that pass is caught. That is by Keon Coleman. He's able to connect with the big man. He gets pushed out of bounds. So they do get enough for the 1st down. Big throw, big catch. And they're going to be relying on Keon Coleman throughout the season. They have a really solid wide receiver core, but they want him to be their featured receiver. All right, he's looking. This pass is caught. This is to James Cook. He goes around and he gets down on the ground. He gets about 5 yards on the play. So that's going to bring up a 2nd down. All right, so right now you see the Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. They're doing a little bit of tempo right now. They have to move with a sense of urgency. So, all right, so he's in the gun. He's looking, throws the ball down the field and tried to get it to Keon Coleman, but Awuzie is right there. Really good coverage. All right, so looked like he has an issue with his fingers. Looked like they're trying to put a little bit of splint on there. So So Kyle Hamilton dealing with an injury, but showing his toughness, man. Just wants this thing taped up right back out there, try to help his team on the 3rd and 6. All right. Got James Cook in motion. And here we go. The snap. Here comes the pressure. And he just checks it down. And James Cook's able to get away. Stiff arm on the 40, to the 30, to the 20. And he goes around and 10-5. And he's taken down at the 2-yard line. Wow. A touchdown saving tackle. But James Cook, it just bobs and weaves his way through the defenders. I mean, the pressure in the face of Josh Allen. Shakur was able to get a good block. Roquan Smith. And we see Josh Allen trying to get around the side, trying to barrel, trying to fight, but no. Malachi Starks, the rookie out of Georgia, is able to take him down. So they tried with a QB sneak. They tried to hurry up, but Baltimore was ready for it. And now we see Marlon Humphreys. That's not what you want to see if you're a Baltimore fan. Marlon Humphreys is down on the field. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but you got to check on him. One of the best corners in the game. So we take a look at Josh Allen. I mean, this is pretty incredible right here. You seen Josh Allen calling out his protections. He calls out the protections, understand that the blitz was indeed coming. So he tells James Cook to slide out. He was able to get it. Shakur doesn't give the best block. Roquan Smith, big time linebacker, can't get him down and able to just kind of weaves his way, and a touchdown saving tackle right there. I thought that James Cook was going to go all the way, a stiff arm on Roquan Smith, and basically he's just running down the field. He's trying to figure out what his next move is going to be. He's able to switch field, switch to the right, and right there was able to get brought down by the defender. I mean, really good run. Really good audible there by Josh Allen, understanding the blitz was coming and get his running back to slide out. So here we go. Fullback in motion, pump fakes, play action. And he's going to take it himself in for the touchdown. Josh Allen on a rollout just completely fools the defense of Baltimore. So I'm pretty sure the Buffalo Bills are going to go for 2. It's a rollout. They were ready for run, but Josh Allen just runs it in on a pretty easy rollout there. So they're going for 2. The last one was unsuccessful, even though Keon Coleman caught it. He was out of bounds. Let's see if they can actually convert this 2-point conversion. All right, so here we go. James Cook in motion. All right, he's looking. Tries to get it to Coleman. Switching, moving. Moves to his right, rolls. He throws it down the field, and that pass is incomplete by Kyle Hamilton, who flicks it to Kyle Van Noy, and he just takes a knee. So Kyle Hamilton, who left the game to get a splint on his hand, gets his fingers wrapped, and it's still good enough for him to be able to catch an interception, take a knee, flips it back to Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Van Noy says, I don't think I'm going to do it, and takes a knee. So now it's a 9-point game, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the State of the NFL podcast. My name is TJ Jones. This is the Watch Alone. Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens in primetime play on NBC, Sunday Night Football. 2 of the best teams in the AFC. I'm pretty sure the way that these 2 teams play, it won't be the last time they see one another. They definitely will meet down the road, maybe for something even bigger when it comes to the playoffs. All right, so let's see. I already read that. Says now that's how you catch a football. Yeah, that's how you do it, man. D-Hop know how to catch them passes. Says if only Genuine Johnson, not Jawan, Genuine Johnson. Genuine Johnson had caught that ball earlier, he would have been legendary. He definitely would have been legendary. But It's not the type of player, can't make them all. I hear some people trying to make excuses for that, man. Ain't no excuses for that. Even Alvin was up there at the press conference talking about it. I know Juwan, he wished he could have caught that pass. Meaning, case in point, he should have caught that pass. That's what that was. So miss me with that, man. You got these people trying to make excuses for him, like, man, that would have been a really tough catch. Man, you just got paid $3 million. I mean, a 3-year extension, making $10 million a year. Nah, bro, you got to catch passes like that. You got to catch those type of passes. But the Saints fall to 0-1, and might be a rough season for the black and gold. But if they can continue to play hard like that, the fan base will continue to tune in as long as they're not giving up, I'm sure. All right, so let's take a look at these stats of these teams so far as we wait for the game to come back on here. We have Lamar Jackson, 10 of 12, 129 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, this man only threw 1 or 2 incompletions the entire game. Quarterback rating of 139.2. That's his passer rating, 139.2. Josh Allen, 14 of 20, 118 yards, 1 touchdown, rating of 101.7. So both teams really want this football game. Taking a look at the legend Thurman Thomas, man, former Oklahoma State Cowboy. God bless his Oklahoma State team. Them boys got beat to sleep by Oregon yesterday. That was a massacre. But Thurman Thomas, one of the all-time greats, man. I used to enjoy watching him play. All right, so here we go. Rasheen Ali gets down and gets up the field. Really good run by Rasheen Ali, man. I like him a lot. Like I said, man, really talented guy. Watched him play at Marshall and was really effective there. All right, so once again, he pump fakes, he looks. And to me, like, I think really good coverage right there. A lot of these receivers tried to break off their route. Like they tried to break off the route, but to no avail. Really good coverage right there by the Baltimore Ravens defense. All right, so 1st and 10 for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. In the gun, throws it down the field, and that pass is incomplete. I don't know if that was intended for Mark Andrews, that was intended for Zay Flowers, or he was just throwing it. Whoever can catch that pass, then good for them. All right, so 2nd and 10. The Baltimore Ravens trying to extend this lead. Zay Flowers with a career night, 6 catches for 134 yards. You can use him in a multifaceted of ways. He is that talented. Lamar Jackson in the gun. Justice Hill in motion. Checks it down to Justice Hill. Justice Hill able to get upfield, and he gets about 8 or 9 yards on the play. All right, so this is going to bring up 3rd down, but you got to believe that this is 4-down territory, especially when you got Derrick Henry on your football team. Whoa. That looks incomplete. And we have a challenge by Sean McDermott, so this more than likely will be 3rd. This will likely be 3rd down, but no challenge is necessary because they already called the pass incomplete. So this is 3rd and 10. I mean, it's pretty as clear. This is clear as day. But really, really good job by Justice Hill trying to fake everybody out. But there's a bunch of cameras in there. So, all right. So DeAndre Hopkins in motion again on a 3rd and 10. If you're Buffalo, you got to find a way to get Baltimore off this field here. All right. So they're pressuring. They're trying to get pressure. They get the pressure in his face. Lamar moving around, scrambles, and he's running. And I think he's going to get that 1st down and a little bit more. Lamar Jackson scrambles to the 50 and takes a huge hit, but he gets to the 49-yard line. That is the magic of Lamar Jackson. When you think that you have him, you had 2 defenders. He just jumps back, the elusivity, the speed. Credit to his offensive lineman trying to get down the field, and he is not trying to slide. He says, I am a football player. Gets up the middle And look, when he turns on the Jets, not too many people can catch him. He becomes a running back. So 1st and 10. Here's the handoff to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry slashing 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, King Henry again. No answer for Derrick Henry. No answer. And the crowd is absolutely, I mean, they're just exacerbated right now. Derrick Henry is just doing what he wants to do. And when you get into the fourth quarter, late in games, like, did y'all see that water bottle that just got tossed out there? Like, man, get out of here. Don't get mad at the beast. Get mad at your D for not being able to stop him. Unbelievable. Derrick Henry just run all over these guys, and Matt Prater doinks it. Or excuse me, not later, but loop. And I know right now you're winning, but that ain't the type of stuff you want to see, especially down the stretch. But Derrick Henry running down the field and just basically untouched. Basically untouched, man. And I think that, ladies and gentlemen, I think you can say that is the ball game. That is the ball game. Derrick Henry has just been absolutely unfreaking stoppable here tonight. Derrick Henry, ladies and gentlemen, the stat lines of Derrick Henry. 12 carries. Hold on, let me refresh this because I know this can't be right. Derrick Henry, 14 carries, 175 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 12.5 yards a carry. I'm going to say that again, ladies and gentlemen. 14 carries, 175 yards, 12.5 yard average, and 2 touchdowns along a 49. Ladies and gentlemen, Derrick Henry is looking like, man, Saquon Barkley, you did what last year? Well, watch this. Unbelievable. Number 9 ain't want no smoke, but he got out the way. You know why he got out the way, Alfred? Because a couple plays before, he was the one that got stiff-armed to the ground by Derrick Henry. Like, Derrick Henry, and there was another play where Derrick Henry ran through the hole. He just bounced off him like he was nothing. This guy said, man, forget this. It's just not my night. This is a dominant performance by Derrick Henry. And what an incredible performance by this offensive line. I mean, he's getting to the second level before he's even touched. And in that one, I don't even think he was touched. Absolutely insane. Key to beating the Bills is just run the ball. No. Nah. This I'm telling you, what we're watching right now, most hated, is a team in the Baltimore Ravens that are just flexing their muscle right now. Like not like if you look at Buffalo play next week, 9 times out of 10, this ain't gonna happen. It's just Derrick freaking Henry here, man. This is Derrick Henry, and this offensive line is just basically just punishing them. And when you have to account for Lamar Jackson, when you have to account for Derrick Henry too, that's hard, man. It's going to be hard to scheme for this against this Baltimore Ravens team. They definitely going to be a double-digit win team. I don't blame them who want to tackle a dude that weighs 285 pounds. That's a good point. We got Corrington. He tries to get some yards, but gets absolutely nothing. And then comes Josh Allen. And Josh Allen is going to try to do everything that he can to try to keep this game alive for his team. But there's only so much you can do, man, especially when the offense is just humming over there. Absolutely humming. Baltimore defense is humming over there, folks. All right, but let's see what Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills can do on a 1st and 10. All right, so here we go. Josh Allen looking, throws the ball, and that pass is caught to Keon Coleman. He didn't get the first down, but he got really close. So I'm saying about 8 or 9 yards on the play. All right, good to see Marlon Humphreys back in the game. He was down, so came back in, so that's good for him. know the Baltimore Ravens are excited about that. All right, so 2nd and 1 for Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. He's in the gun. Snap. Looking. Throws the ball. Quick pass. This is Shakur. And Shakur gets down. He gets the first down. You got to believe that the Buffalo Bills are thinking tempo right now. You got to believe that they're thinking tempo. All right, so here we go. Josh Allen in the gun again. And he's looking. And he throws the ball. That pass is intercepted. That is intercepted by Awuzie. And this has been a really big night. I mean, so he just, wait a minute. So, and no, the ball hit the ground. But what a performance so far by Awuzie, a guy who has stepped up to the plate, man. He has rose to the occasion. He has been in on some big plays, but this pass is indeed incomplete. He did not catch this pass. You can see the nose of the football on the ground. His hands aren't underneath. But if you're Joshua Palmer, you definitely want to put that on tape because you stopped on the route, my friend. You stopped on the route. But it is incomplete, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Shakur in motion. Shakir. And here we go. Josh Allen in the gun. Snap. Looking. Scrambling. Running. To the 40. To the 50. Gets around there. Gets a first down and slides. Question is, did he get the first down? Or are they going to mark him short? And it looks like they're going to mark him short. I was wondering because you got to keep in mind, they don't account what you did after the slide is where you started to slide. So it's 3rd and 1. Here's the handoff to Ray Davis. Ray Davis gets around the side, tries to get up the field, and we got a flag on the play. And Malachi Starks and crew make sure that he does not get the first down, but there is a flag. There's a flag on the play. Let's see what this flag is all about. I want to say that he got the first down. I believe he started to slide right at the first down mark. There you go, right there. So I want to say that he got the first down. I don't know. Maybe they should have challenged that. You ain't got nothing to lose at this point. The slide started right there. So I say right at the first down mark. So holding on offense. So it's a 10-yard penalty on Deion Dawkins. So Deion Dawkins, man, he's saying that it's some nonsense. So now it's 3rd and 11. So regardless, it's 4th down territory. All right, so here we go. Josh Allen in the gun, sensing the pressure, and he is sacked, brought down to the ground, and sacked for the first time tonight. And by Mata BK, the big man. You just have a fun name to say, Mata BK. All right. And if you want to get to Josh Allen, this is the best time to do it. So you have to wonder, yeah, you got to punt this. And not the best punt in the world, but able to get it down before it can do any significant damage. And this is what happens. Like when the Baltimore Ravens are clicking like this, it's going to be really, really hard to beat a team like this. And if they're out there scoring almost on every possession, then guess what? Like, you got to make sure that you be able to match their intensity. And if you can't, then guess what? It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. Well, both of these teams, are they're going to be some of the best teams in the league. Next week, you got the the Bills taking on their division rival, the Jets, and the Baltimore Ravens. Their next game next week is against their division foe, the Cleveland Browns. So divisional matchups for both teams. And regardless to if Buffalo wins or not, you can still bounce back and try to establish yourself in your division. This is the Watch Along here on the State of the NFL podcast. My name is TJ Jones, watching the fourth quarter of the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills game. Excited about it. Excited that football is back. Excited to be here to talk a little bit of football with you all, man. So shouts out to you if you're into NFL talk, if you're into just the hottest topics in the NFL. Make sure you subscribe to the State of the NFL podcast. State of the NFL podcast. I don't think I did this yet. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link inside of the comments, and make sure if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. Help that channel to grow. Really would appreciate that. Man, we need the GM. I think a lot of people need the Baltimore Ravens general manager in their front office. They not scared to tackle over there. Not at all. I mean, the physical. I want to say Baltimore probably been the best tackling team I've seen and watched this entire day. Like I watching a few of these football games, some of the late games, check those out. Some of the games that I watched over the weekend, it was a lot of sloppy tackling, man, but that's expected, especially when some of these CBA rules are making it a little bit more difficult for you to be able to practice certain tackling drills and stuff like that, trying to make sure guys stay healthy throughout the course of the season. Well, here we go. As we take a look at Derrick Henry, you got to believe that the Baltimore Ravens want to soak this game away. And here we go. Here's the handoff to Big Henry. Henry goes around the side, and he gets a few yards on the play. I mean, this dude is built like a linebacker, man. Man, it like not only is he big, not only is he physical, but he fast too. Like this dude is big, physical, and fast. Like he's running away from people. Like he is running away from people. But not on that play, he wasn't. He got tackled for a loss. And one of the first times in the game, very few times in the game that you're able to bring this dude down in the backfield. It's crazy. It's crazy for somebody to be that big, be that fast, be that strong. Like it's a cheat code. It's like if you were like growing up as a kid when you were playing Madden. This is how you used to build Derrick Henry on Madden. Big physical guy, All right, we got a flag on the play. Lamar, all right, so the play is whistle dead. And the play is whistle dead, so we got a false start on the offense. I mean, man, this is like, this is a great performance, man. Dominating performance. But like I said, man, Derrick Henry is the type of player that you make on Madden. All right, so here we go. He throws it to him, and this is another flag on a play. I want to see what this is. This is a holding penalty. So I hope this isn't a part of the game where we start seeing referees trying to stall momentum to give somebody a chance to make it more interesting. I just hope that this isn't the case. They've been pretty lenient with the flags, but now it seems like they're starting to call them down the stretch. But let's see what's going on here. Yeah. I mean, now we gonna be I said now we're gonna be now we're gonna try to stall some momentum here, try to make this game more interesting. They don't want them to embarrass Buffalo too much. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, because they weren't really calling nothing in this game the whole entire time. Like it was a good minute that before like you really start getting flags. They only had like maybe one or two flags. I can call. It was a what was it? A holding penalty on Baltimore, and it was a pass interference call on Baltimore. You know, it's been a pretty clean game when it comes to the penalties. Not too many penalties have been called, you know, in this game. Instead, you know, for the last few minutes. Now it seems like now they won't call everything. Oh man, really good punt right there. That's gonna put the ball there right around the 2 or the 1 yard line. So now they're gonna have to drive. What? Did he touch the white line or did the ball touch the white line? Nah, he ain't, that ball didn't touch the white line. It did not. What is he talking about? Nah. Did y'all see the ball? Did y'all see the ball touch the white line? Say TJ, bro, what song you got for us this week? I don't think I got a song, man. Ain't much need to be sung, man. Ain't nothing much need to be sung. You know, we know what this is for the Saints. And what a catch by Keon Coleman. Goes up and just brings it down, man. Who would have thought that a receiver can go up and catch the ball and just come down with it, even though, you know, somebody is trying to hit him? Who would have thought, like, you know, a wide receiver can actually do that, or a pass catcher can do it? But anyway, 1st and 10, Josh Allen still in the pocket, breaks free, goes around, rolls right, tries to pump fake it, and he runs out of bounds, gets a few yards on the play. So a lot was going on that play right there. I mean, I wouldn't have thought. Like, here's Keon Coleman going up in the air, understanding that there's a possibility that he could get hit. And he also survives the ground. But let's see, James Cook in the backfield. Here's Josh Allen. Steps up, throws, and this pass is caught. This is to Joshua Palmer, and he gets the first down. All right, so here we go. 5 minutes left. Trying to get yourself into the end zone. Josh Allen, quick pass. That pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete, falls to the ground. So a lot of tempo has been run in this game. A lot of tempo. Got a lot of defenders breathing heavy. And you got to keep in mind, I mean, this is the first game of the season. So, I mean, you got to believe that maybe the cardio isn't where it needs to be just yet. I mean, playing all these snaps. But here we go. Josh Allen snaps, looking, throws the ball down the field. That pass is caught. That, once again, that's the Keon Coleman. So Keon Coleman catches the ball, keeps the clock moving, also gets a little bit closer to a first down, 5 catches for 69 yards. So Keon making some noise in this game, man. You definitely want to be that go-to guy. Definitely want to be able to step up into that number 1 role where Buffalo wants him to be. But this is a 3rd and 3. You got to believe, regardless of what happens here, this is 4th down territory. Shakur in motion. Rolls from the right to the left. All right, you got Josh Allen calling out the protections. He audibles, brings in Ty Johnson, throws it, and that pass is incomplete, but there is a flag on a play. So Nate Wiggins, they called for a flag on this play. It's been playing really well, but it is pass interference. He's trying to get He's trying to get Keon Coleman in front. He's trying to get in front of him, trying to make sure that big 6'4" frame doesn't box him out. And they're just fighting and jockeying for position. And I mean, Nate Wiggins is a really talented cornerback, man. Second-year guy, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so here we go. These tight ends have been quiet. Okay, so there we go. They're making some noise now. Dalton Kincaid, it's been a while since we heard his name, but he gets the first down. Dalton Kincaid, 4 catches for 48 yards. But once again, they have not really been a factor this game, these tight ends. Very early in the game have they made some noise, but then they kind of got neutralized throughout the game. Haven't really heard from them. All right, Josh Allen, 1st and 10, in the gun. Looking. Throws the ball and incomplete. Tried to get Joshua Palmer. Did have a step on the defender, but just wasn't able to get the ball a little bit too far. That would have been a very crucial play by the Buffalo Bills if that would have been successful. I mean, it was right there, just overthrew Palmer. So here we go, 2nd and 10. All right, so Josh Allen looking, throws, and Ty Johnson couldn't come down with it. It was right in his hands, just could not bring it in. It was where it needed to be. He had the step. You have got to be able to come down with that. Ty Johnson, yes, he had to come down with that. I mean, perfect pass right there. Josh Allen put it in a place where only Ty Johnson can get it. Buchanan got beat on the play, but he still just couldn't come up with the catch. So here we go. So 3rd and 10 for the Buffalo Bills. Once again, this is 4-down territory. He gets the step. That pass is caught. Joshua Palmer tries to stiff arm, gets around the side, and he gets close to the 1st down, and he doesn't get out of bounds, so the clock continues to move. It's 4th down. This is the last chance for Buffalo, really, honestly, for them to be able to even try to match and try to get close to what Baltimore, is as far as what the score indicates. All right, so 40-25, 4th and 2, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense are trying to cut into this lead. They're down 40-25. All right, so here we go. Shavers in motion. Josh Allen looking. Can't find anyone. Scrambles, throws it. And that pass is caught by Keon Coleman. 100% desperation, but nonetheless, still a touchdown. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck on your side. And Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offense, I mean, that was luck personified, but hey, how can you argue with anything like that? It came in a form of 6 points. And now we have Matt Prater trying to make this a 1-score game. Of course, you need a 2-point conversion to tie it up, but Prater hits it through. So right now it's an 8-point game, 3 minutes left. Both teams have all 3 timeouts, and Josh Allen continues to put the Buffalo Bills team on his freaking back. Looking, scrambling. I mean, clean pocket. I mean, you're not getting close to this guy. And he just basically just throws it into the end zone. It tips, and Keon Coleman is Johnny on the spot, and he gets the touchdown. I mean, unbelievable. Breaks off the route, and really good hand-eye coordination by Keon Coleman right there. I mean, it tips it up, and Keon Coleman is right there for the touchdown. So Dawson Knox tip. Shakir like, I don't think I'm going to get this, and Keon Coleman is right there. So a little bit of magic right there. But sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. But this shows you the type of team Buffalo is. Any other team would have been dominated the way they have by Baltimore. They probably would have laid down. But this team continues to fight. As we see Rasheen Ali tries to get past, and he just dragged down to the ground. Really good special teams play. And now we are going to see if the Baltimore Ravens can sulk away this clock and try to go to 1-0. But really good performances by both quarterbacks. I mean, 3 touchdowns by both guys. Both quarterbacks utilizing their legs as well as their arms in order for them to try to generate offensive success. All right, so here we go. Here's the handoff, and this is to Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson down the side, and he slides down. So you got to wonder, when are the Buffalo Bills going to start using their timeouts? They have all 3 timeouts right now. But right now, it doesn't seem like they're going to use them. Like maybe they'll start after the clock gets under the 2-minute mark or close to the 2-minute mark. All right, so here we go. Hand off to Derrick Henry. He stiff arms. He fumbles the football. And it looks like the Buffalo Bills have the football. Wow. An unbelievable night by Derrick Henry, over 170 yards rushing, and out of nowhere, he fumbles the football, puts the ball on the ground. Ed Oliver, the big nose tackle in the middle, rips the ball out of big Derrick Henry's hand. And you have to believe that is no short feat. Ed Oliver showing the leadership, showing the never say die attitude. And now the Buffalo Bills are knocking on the door of tying this football game without even having to use any timeouts. Unbelievable. Wow. After an amazing night from Derrick Henry, averaging double-digit average rushing the ball. But here we go. Josh Allen. And this pass is caught, and that's by Haynes, the third-string tight end. Gets the ball down to the 2-yard line. Who would have guessed? And now Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills are within striking distance of possibly tying this game. They go for the sneak. He does not get it. Good penetration by the defensive line of the Baltimore Ravens. Going to bring up 2nd and goal. You have to wonder what has went wrong with the Baltimore Ravens. But this right here, this just shows the toughness, the resolve of a team like the Buffalo Bills. Not saying never say die. Nate Wiggins just knocking the ball away. Great concentration by the big man to be able to get the ball into his possession down at the 2-yard line. But here we go. Here's the handoff. James Cook tries to barrel his way, tries to fight, and they're going to say he's short. So this is going to bring up 3rd down. Regardless, 4th down territory, 1:59 seconds left. This takes us to the 2-minute warning, and this has been an absolute thriller in Buffalo. An absolute thriller in Buffalo, ladies and gentlemen. I can go for an extra 5 minutes. Absolutely. What a game. What a freaking game. 3rd and goal. We take a look at Ed Oliver. I mean, one of the leaders of this team. The toughness to be able to rip the ball out of big Derrick Henry's hand, who has been, just an absolute headache for this team the entire night. 17 carries, 166 yards, a tick under 10 yards a carry and 2 touchdowns. And all of that hard work, all of the things that they did, all for them to be in this position. I mean, Baltimore's offense has done everything that you need them to do. Every statistical category, it just screams win. 235 yards rushing, 203 yards receiving. Like, unbelievable stats. And here we go. Josh Allen just dives over the top, and he's in for the touchdown. Josh Allen diving over the top, taking it himself. And now you're going for 2 points. Will the Buffalo Bills tie this football game up with 1 minute and 58 seconds left? This has been nothing short of a thriller. Let's see what Josh Allen and offense have in store. Josh Allen looking in the gun. Ty Johnson right next to him. Got Keon Coleman down at the bottom of your screen looking, going for the 50-50 ball. And Keon Coleman can't get it. Nate Wiggins on the coverage. But that's where you want to go with the football. You want to put best on best. And Nate Wiggins right there, ready to lock up with him. 6'1", 6'2" cornerback against a 6'4" wide receiver. And Nate Wiggins gets the best of that. I mean, you might want to, I mean, I'm thinking some pass interference, but nevertheless, great coverage by Nate Wiggins. I think he should have maybe threw that ball up a little bit higher and, you know, made it more of a 50-50 versus trying to throw that back shoulder. I get it. But right now it's a 2-point game. You got Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens on the ropes. All right, so here we go. Rasheen Ali. Oh, breaks off, and he gets knocked out of bounds. So really good run right there by Ali. Gets to about the 31-yard line. So we got Derrick Henry coming back into the game. You better believe that Derrick Henry not going to fumble that football again. I can tell you this right now. And the Baltimore Ravens, you got 3 timeouts if you're the Buffalo Bills. You got to believe that they're probably not going to try to put the ball in the air. You're probably going to see a combination of Jackson, Henry, and maybe Justice Hill a little bit. All right, so we got the fullback in the backfield. So maybe this is a handoff. Hands off to King Henry. King Henry tries to get around the sidelines, barrels his way, and he stays in bounds, and you're going to call a timeout immediately if you're Buffalo. So you're going to use one of your timeouts. The name of the game is no first downs. If the Baltimore Ravens get a first down, this game is over. So you gotta keep your eyes open for Lamar Jackson with the RPO. You gotta look for King Henry not to break free. You know he has to be extremely angry after giving up that fumble to Ed Oliver in the Buffalo Bills defense. All right, so here we go. Baltimore versus Buffalo. Here we go. Here's the handoff to Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers tries to get around the side. He slides down. Doesn't want to go out of bounds. At the end of the day, really smart play right there. Just keep the clock running. Allow the Buffalo Bills to have to utilize their timeouts. And now it's decision time for John Harbaugh and his Baltimore Ravens. Are you going to put the ball in the air? Are you going to do some RPO action? Is that Keith Kirkwood, by the way? Got Keith Kirkwood over there on the sidelines. All right, so here we go. You got Matt Prater taking a look at him. 3rd and 9. You got to believe that the playbook is wide open here. 3rd and 9. This is the game, ladies and gentlemen. This is the game. If they convert this on 3rd down, the game is over. You can take a knee, and it's pretty much over right here. All right, so we're whispering in the ear of DeAndre Hopkins. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Him speaking to DeAndre Hopkins. I don't believe it's going to be that obvious, but we'll see. Here we go. Looking, Lamar Jackson. And he's tackled. He is tackled, ladies and gentlemen. So it brings up 4th down, and it's decision time. And they're going to punt this football. Wow. So right now, the Buffalo Bills have one more chance and 1 minute and some change to try to not only maybe kick a field goal, but also facilitate one of the greatest comebacks in Sunday Night Football history I've seen. I mean, there's plenty more, but this would be one heck of a comeback. And I can tell you, the Baltimore Ravens, if they lose this football game, man, they're going to be kicking themselves because they did everything right tonight. All right, so here we go, the Buffalo Bills. And that goes out of bounds. So let's see where he's going to mark it. He's going to mark it at about the 20 or the 19-yard line. So he's going to mark it about the 19-yard line. So you got Josh Allen. Look like he's going to have to go about 81 yards. Let's see if he can actually get it done. Let's see if they can actually get into field goal range. We know that Matt Prater, 41 years old, replacing Tyler Bass, who is on IR. But we know that Matt Prater still has that big leg, even though he's 41 years old. Josh Allen, we take a look. 21 game-winning drives in the 4th quarter. Could this be number 22? And here we go. Here's the snap. Josh Allen, look, gets the ball, gives it to Shakir. You have to believe, okay, you need a sense of urgency, but not that much of a sense of urgency right now. 2nd and 4. All right, so here we go. Josh Allen in the gun. James Cook in the backfield alongside. Got a 3 wide receiver set. Here we go. Josh Allen looking. Throws the ball, and that pass is caught to Keon Coleman, gets both feet in bounds, and gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 1 minute left, and that brings up a 1st down. So Josh Allen putting the team on his back, and Keon Coleman stepping up in a major way in this game. This is what Buffalo wanted to see out of the 2nd-year guy out of Florida State. Josh Allen looking, scrambling, rolls around, rolls to his right, and he steps out of bounds, gets a few yards, steps out of bounds, 53 seconds left on the clock. Rough night for Roquan Smith, man. I got to tell you that. Been a rough night for the big man. All right, so here we go. 53 seconds left on the clock. All right, Shakir in motion on the 2nd and 5. Josh Allen in the gun yet again. You got Palmer at the bottom of your screen. And we got a flag on a play. So it's looking like a false start. Going to have to move them back. So this is going to bring up 2nd and 10. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 10. Got Dawson Knox in motion. All right, so here we go. Looking. Throws the ball down the field, and that is caught by Joshua Palmer, and he gets out of bounds. And Jair Alexander was in coverage. It doesn't get any better than that, and he gets lost. And Joshua Palmer comes over from the Chargers and catches that corner route. I mean, Jair Alexander, you have to believe maybe he thought there was some safety help over the top. But you can't give up a big play. 46 seconds left on the clock. They're on maybe the 37-yard line from the looks of it. All right, so here we go. Josh Allen in the gun. Snaps. Looking. They try to go on a blitz. This pass is caught. Keon Coleman in stride. And he gets tripped up, and he almost scored. Wow. Wow. Keon Coleman. And honestly, didn't even look like the guy tripped him up like the turf monster did. What a performance by Josh Allen. I don't want to hear anything. If they win this game, I don't want to hear nothing else about no Josh Allen. I don't want to hear nothing. People talking about, man, he ain't make the playoff. Man, he can't win the big one. Nah, bruh. This is a MVP type performance. This is a type of performance that basically puts you among the upper echelon. Like in this performance right here, if you got Josh Allen as a, if you're doing a top 5 list, you got him at 4, you got to move him up 3 or 2. After something like this, you got to move him up, man. You're not winning this football game without number 17 as your quarterback. You're just not. They might let him score. Don't be surprised if they let him score. All right, so you got one more timeout left in the chamber. In my Vince Lombardi voice, what the hell is going on out there? I don't know. I'll tell you what, Jair Alexander, man, it's not looking too good for the homie, man. I can tell you that. It's not looking too good for the homie. This is a guy that a lot of people wanted to see, felt like he can bring something to the table in Baltimore, which I still feel like he can, but man, it's the second time I've seen him get lost. He had a pass interference penalty. Got lost against Josh Palmer. Yeah, not a very good night. Not a very good night for Jair Alexander in his Baltimore Raven debut. You got to wonder to yourself, you really do. You just got to wonder to yourself, what in the hell has happened if you're the Baltimore Ravens? I mean, offensively, you basically did everything right. I mean, these stats, like Derrick Henry over 200 yards rush. Lamar Jackson nearly completing 90%, or about 90% of his passes. I mean, what he fight for it? Well, he threw some incompletions a few minutes ago, but I mean, still, this stat line, 14 of 19, 210 yards. I mean, come on, man. Quarterback rating of 144. Derrick Henry, 18 carries for 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers, 7 catches for 143. I mean, all of these stats just indicate that you should be winning a football game. But at the same time, you got Josh Allen with 394 yards and 2 touchdowns, throwing for nearly 400 yards in order to win a football game. You're not winning a football game if number 17 is not your quarterback. It's just that plain and simple, man. Here we go. Matt Prater, 41 years old, was just signed because of an injury to kicker Tyler Bass. Can Matt Prater become a hero? Could he be more of Tyler Bass than Scott Norwood. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. And the Buffalo Bills coming back. The score was 40-25 late in the fourth quarter. And in heroic fashion, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills facilitate a comeback for the ages. It took a little bit of everything, but a lot of Josh Allen. But the Buffalo Bills, ladies and gentlemen, won this football game. This is championship type football, ladies and gentlemen. These are the type of games, if you're going to call yourself a Super Bowl contender, if you're going to call yourself one of the best teams in the league, these are the type of games that you want to see, and these are the type of performances that define a football team. If the Buffalo Bills can end up doing what we expect for them to do and making their way to the playoffs, these are the type of games that you lean on and look at and say to yourself, damn, we can do it. Josh Allen, complete adulation, 394 yards for the 6'5" big man. And to the very disappointed Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, who had monster games, Sean McDermott pointing to the sky, thanking a higher power, John Harbaugh, complete dejection. Felt like this team did everything right. And 41-year-old Matt Prater, off the street, helping the Buffalo Bills get their first win of the season. But after this game, look no further than Derrick Henry's fumble. Ed Oliver forcing the fumble of big Derrick Henry, who had a monster night, 9.4 yards a carry, 169 yards off 18 touches and 2 touchdowns. The only people that's happy right now are the fantasy owners of Derrick Henry. But other than that, the Baltimore Ravens are very, very disappointed. What a game. What a game. Really enjoyed this game and enjoyed bringing it to you. Once again, this is the State of the NFL. My name is TJ Jones, and if you enjoyed the watch along here on the State of the NFL, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. We really appreciate it. Also, check out my other podcast, the State of the Saints podcast. If you're into the NFC South, into the New Orleans Saints, make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. NFC South Roundtable every Tuesday at 8 p.m. And you can also follow me on X at TJAY Jones 8. What a great night. We'll be back next week as we look at the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Atlanta Falcons in Minnesota. Two young quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy, and you also have Michael Penix coming into town. Should be an exciting matchup. Both teams are going to need that football game. Minnesota hasn't played yet. They got to play on Monday night against Chicago. But how would they fare out in that game? But I'm pretty sure it's going to set up for a barn burner next week. I don't know if it's going to be able to live up to what we just seen, but hopefully they can. All right, till next time, I'll see you down the road.